Good evening, everyone. I'm Blaine Singletary, also known as the Sma Man, and we're going to take you through what I like to call Monday Night Roan. We have a lot of matches from around the league from a lot of players we haven't featured yet this season. Our first game coming to you from B2, and of course, I'm joined by really a mainstay in this ARML broadcasting scheme. It's Nathaniel. How you doing?
Doing great, Blaine. Really looking forward to watching this B2 matchup between Daniel, Philip, Kayla, and Tommy. Uh, Philip has been doing quite well this season, jumping up in the standings up to sixth place and will be our starting dealer on the right. Daniel in fourth place, also having an excellent season, kind of running away with the first places, six of them so far. Across the table, Tommy has some work to do to catch up to the rest of the pack. And on the left, Kayla is hanging firm in the middle on the negative side, but hoping to, in these four games, move up to the positives.
And she can certainly do that even just tonight, but yeah, it's yeah, great season so far. Of course, this is session 5 of 6, so the season is starting to wind down, but the action is definitely heating up as this game begins. And great starting hand for our dealer here. East round, east seat. You've got 3 east right there. Can't be beat. You've got great shapes going on as well elsewhere in this hand too.
Yeah, love the So Diamond and the Mon Diamond. And Phil can just plan to open up for 2,900, or if he gets some nice draws, stay close for up to, or as little as 77, even maybe more. And Daniel on the right with excellent Mon tiles. It will be interesting to see if he can make an Itsu, just full straight from 1 through 9 there, or if he continues to collect tiles like this and end up shifting towards Chinitsu. That's the second Dora that's been drawn into the hand.
Yeah, high value no matter how this one gets sliced. I mean, oh, well, we might be heading towards that, Honitsu. It's another step. Getting the 6 mon now. Looking across the way, we're seeing good shapes in Pinzu.
Gee.
And some decent ones happening in Manzu as well. We have Tenpai on the left, it looks like.
Yeah, Kayla, fast call with 2 Dora in hand as well. Certainly an easy decision for her to make. It says 3,900 is good enough for me, and is waiting, well, technically 1, 4, 7 so, but only the 4 and 7 will win with the Tanya Yaku.
Oh, and we now have 4 easts for the dealer. He's going to hang on to them now, not quite calling a closed con just yet.
Oh!
Oh, it's going to put it back. Wants
Yeah,
to get that Tanyao.
Kayla drawing the wrong side, cannot win on the 1 so she has to drop it back, and now in permanent Huriten, unless she manages to switch this weight. So Philip drawing this 4 so can discard it safely now without dealing in.
It's crazy. Yeah, two four so's in that hand, as you mentioned, and now calling another pawn.
Oh, decision time for Daniel. Had 5 pairs, could have thought about Chichoy, but now drawing Uncle the 4 says, you know what, it's Chinitsu time, let's go.
Oh, wow. Crazy action. Just getting right off in here. And the dealer now, Tenpai, waiting on 8-pin.
The 8-pin that just left Daniel's hand as a pair, and now it's going to come out.
Here it goes.
Wow, such inconvenient timing for Daniel. Notably, there's only 2 Han for Philip, but because of the East Con, that adds basically an extra Han's worth of Fu, 32 whole Fu. So that hand becomes 5,800 instead of the 2,900 or 3,900 that you might expect.
He gets all that, and he gets to stay on as dealer as East 1 continues here. And he's starting this off again with 2 Dora in hand. Well, he didn't have 2 Dora last time. That was Daniel's hand.
Yeah,
but
Daniel, Caleb both. Needless to say, a lot of potential value here.
Right. Speaking of Daniel's hand, looking as quite put together as last time. Definitely losing that Shinitsu is pretty disheartening, but now you got to work with whatever this is, and it's got some work to do here.
Yeah, you might be making Ipeko into lower Pinzu. Pinzu is a likely outcome for this hand. It could just be reaching Nomi as well. There's a door accepting Penchon 8-9 months, so if he does draw a 7 mon, he'll be very happy. Speaking of Penchon fills, Tommy pulls in a 7-pin across the table and is now Ishan 10. Potential Ricci Dora 1 if he can grab a 7 mon as well. And of course, Kayla on the left. Also, pair heavy hand. 1, 2, 3, 4 now. I don't know if she's thinking about Chitoy just yet. Might even discard one pin in the future and move towards Tanyao.
Yeah, it's, it's an interesting decision you'll make. Of course, it's all down to what the wall gives you at this point. Oh,
Ooh.
now an Anko of 8 pin.
Yeah, Kayla playing just efficiently here. Says this 6-pin doesn't offer me too many useful draws, so I'll just discard it now. I don't need to cut my 1-pin pair just yet. I'm going to wait and see if I draw into some more Ankos. But I think she's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. So she doesn't need to drop the 1-pins anymore. If it,
Meanwhile, we're seeing some pairs forming in MP Daniel's hand over there. Looks like he's got 5 now,
oh,
so he's might be winning this Cheetoy race if that's what we're going for.
yeah, and I was not expecting that to be the direction the hand moves, but sometimes that just happens, and actually gives him a chance to win because otherwise the hand was looking very like it was going to struggle a while.
Yeah, but look, if you see his discard piles, it's all lit up except for the last 3 draws, so he's definitely done some restructuring and capitalized on some really good progress here.
Yeah, just a note, Tommy across the table has just been dancing around Ishan 10, has not been able to pull in that tile that he really needs. And it's Kayla actually who draws the door and says, you know what, we will shift to Tanyao. She had a chance to maintain the current tiles, say cutting a 3-mon instead, to give herself a chance at 3, 4, 5 Sanchoku or the Tanyao play, or rather, or the door acceptance, but chose to just commit to Tanyao. In the meantime, Daniel will find Tenpai on that 9-pin for Richi Chitoi.
And while all that was going on, the dealer picked up another Dora himself.
Ooh.
So this hand is also getting a pretty big, meaty Tanyao here, perhaps.
Yeah, it was looking like it was going to turn to 2, 3, 4 Sanchoku, but after that third door draw, it's just any Tenpai that you can find is good.
You don't need San Shoku when you got San Dora.
Dora-san is certainly absolutely worth it. Will be 12,000 points if Philip can win it, but I don't think there are enough tiles. We need to draw to Tenpai here and
That,
then have Daniel discard the winner. Good call here. Takes K10.
ooh,
And Daniel had uh, one more chance that Sumo couldn't find it. Tommy manages to dodge the Hote Dylan to both players, and so it will be Ryukoku, Philip, and Daniel picking up the points.
and that'll keep us in East 1 a bit longer. The new Dora is 4, so not seeing that in this hand yet, but a pretty good start for our dealer here. Seeing the blocks starting to form.
Yeah, Hatsu pair.
Daniel also has a completed shape in that 4, 5, 6, also a pair of 7s, and also a pair of the 1 pin. Across the way as well, good shapes in Sozu from what I'm seeing here. Might become a flush of some sort. You have that the pair of green dragons as well.
Yeah, that Mochi Mochi situation with the dealer, both of them having that pair. We'll see if one of them backs off of it first. I mean, Philip has a decent chance. He can shift to Tanya, might cut Hatsu Hatsu in that case. But if not, it might be slow going for both.
I was about to say Kayla might also have a shot at a flush, but seems to be embracing the dot shapes that are forming over there, even though it is kind of iffy with it being both a Kanchan and an edge you're having to juggle between.
Yeah, it's very likely she'll end up cutting the 9-pin eventually. Unless she somehow shifts this into 79 Sanchoku, but that feels like it's too far of a stretch. And I think you're right. She wants it to be Chinitsu, but needs to draw the tiles for it.
Meanwhile, 5 pairs for dealer now.
Yeah, another hand that doesn't look like it wants to be Chitoi, but is kind of moving that direction. I'm sure Philip would prefer to have, Rishi Pin Futanya Peiko or something like that. And so even if he draws the 6-pin, he'll have to think about what he wants to do. And this is a full Chitoi commit.
Yep, there we go.
I guess if you draw the 6-pin, you're just Chitoi Tenpai, so you have to decide whether to Richi or swap for a better weight.
And then it decides to get an Anko.
And another tough decision. Do you play for the Chitoi efficiency and throw the 5-pin back, or do you believe that Swanko is a chance, or Toy Toy?
Home.
Oh, Toy Toy seems to be the play now, calling those two pins.
Oh, the Tumon was the next draw. If Philip had not called, he would have drawn another
Ooh.
Anko.
Then instead, yeah, you get one way or the other, I guess.
Yeah, I not. That's not to say that calling was the wrong play. It's just a funny little uh, thing that Daniel managed to pull in, which is actually causing him some trouble because now he has to decide which block to throw away. He has too many.
Meanwhile, Kayla's hand, it's not a whole lot of progress, but it's definitely restructuring into possible Cheetoy. I mean, you've
Gee,
got that Ipeco shape there. I almost think you run with that, but now we have Tenpai on the right.
2-5 Mon for Tanya Dora 2. I think there's also a little hesitation as Kayla decided whether or not she wanted to call the 8 pin for Toy Toy of her own.
Maybe looking to play a little bit more defensively, seeing that late game call.
At the same time, she has been drawing into these Monzus, so she could also be thinking that, she doesn't want to call the 8 pin when there's a possible Chinitsu. The 6 and 9 pin do not deal in because Tommy did not declare Ricci, and instead that means that Daniel will get the Tsumo.
And very nicely done. Getting that was Tuhan there. It went away pretty quick there.
Yeah, Tanya Door 2 for 3,900 plus Homba, and I believe there's a Ricci stick in the middle as well for a nice sum of points for Daniel.
Getting above 30K, that's the all-important number you want to get above here in the ARML. As these two kicks off, the Dora is 5 Mon, and definitely has a spot save for that tile in this hand. Good shapes in Monzu, decent shapes in Pinzu. Not sure what's happening in Sozu right now, though.
Yeah, kind of a wait and see for Daniel.
And for Tommy, we see a couple of pairs here with an Anko of the 8 Mon.
I do think that
Also would like to...
yeah, but maybe Tanya at Toy Toy possibilities is probably what you're thinking there, right?
Yeah,
Dora
and
acceptance,
with Dora acceptance,
right?
yes. Across the way, that's looking pretty nice with the Sozu shape coming into play there.
It's a very sweet so shape. I like Ricci Pinfu as an option there with again Dora acceptance. Love to see it.
Then we have Philip again. Looks like that's definitely a play to Cheetoy because, well, not a whole lot else happening in that hand.
And just as you say it, he draws an Anko, and so again we've got that same situation as last time, but there are two Dora. So this is going to be really interesting to see if he chooses to call any of these tiles.
Suanko is just Cheetoy with ambition.
An ambitious form of Cheetoy. And he's going to need Daniel to drop one of these two Mons. The West has already come out once, so we need to find the last West as well. And it's pretty close whether you want to aim for the Toy Toy here, because it's going to be a little bit hard to call a Dora. You're not really expecting the 5 Mon to come out. Same thing with the 4, so you're really not anticipating that to leave anyone's hands so easily. And so these might not be the easiest pawns to be able to call. For that reason, he might consider dropping the 9 so soon and aiming for the maximum Chitoi Ukeide. That is, tiles that can be accepted for Chitoi Tenpai.
As we can see, none of the other Dora have shown themselves yet. So they're all on the wall at the moment.
Yeah, I think if Phil draws a Dora, that will make his decision very easy. In the meantime, Toyman is looking really nice with those shapes. I'm trying to see, of course, my first thought is, do we have Sanchoku? And it looks like the answer is no.
Especially when it would kind of interfere with that Ipeco you've got already locked in.
On the other hand, Tommy does have confirmed Sanshoku 678.
Oh,
Ricci,
and look
Tanya,
at that.
Sanshoku, back-to-back 7 so drawn, and now there's only
That
one in
was
the wall.
back to back to back, I think.
Oh, really? And that means it's going to be really tough for Tommy to pull in this final tile. Phillips out, west, and he might go 9 so 9 so 9 so 9 so. Those are all safe tiles in his hand. He could also fight here.
Oh, but look at this, yeah.
One pin doesn't seem that bad. He'll shove it because he actually has a completed shape in the 789 and the 999 Anko. So just Ishan then here and draws the door. He'll slam a Ricci here, just deciding whether it's going to be 2 Mon 4 so Shabo, and he damas.
Oh, well, you don't really need to reach on a hand that's getting this crazy.
Sumo would be Saranko, but if you can't roan here.
Especially when we are with the last tile, and that'll be it.
Wow.
The
It
end
look
of these hands are just creeping right up on me.
absolute. I mean, these hands are getting so exciting. Everyone has a monster. There's at least two Mangans on the table per round.
And then it just ends.
We've seen a couple Ryukoku and a couple 5,000 plus hands. So these have been by no means inexpensive.
Well, moving on to East 3 now. The Dora is 5 pin. And a pretty nice starting hand for our dealer right now.
He shot
Cleaning
that
up one
already.
shape there. Ishanten for. I would assume he's going to call Ricci on this. Just a
Yeah,
quick early Ricci. See what you got under the door there.
most likely not going to be the strongest weight, 6 mon, 1 pin Shabo, but oh, that's an improvement. Now we can end up with a Pinfu as well. So great high pipe for Tommy.
Let's look at Daniel's hand, though. He just locked in the Hatsu Anko and has 3 pairs already set. And really, I believe that's Ishanten? Maybe not
It
quite.
is, yeah, you're right. Chitoi Ishanten, if he chooses to go that way. He could also,
Yeah.
again, make calls for Toy Toy. Really flexible, and it will be interesting to see what he chooses to do here, if any of his tiles come out.
And Kayla on the right has another Apeco shot there I'm seeing. But the wall seems to be trying to pull this into different directions.
Yeah, it looks like she's making the move towards the Tanyao direction, which makes sense here. It should be a little bit faster, and she will also be able to open the hand.
Let's see, across the way. Well, it looks like he's struggling a little bit, but actually, no, that hand looks a lot better
Each.
Oh,
on the second base. It's got 2 Dora, for
yeah,
goodness sake.
and that's going to be really interesting given that Daniel has just declared Ricci for Chitoi. And
Waiting on,
interestingly, yeah, you're going to say 8 so weight?
yes, on the 8 so.
Is that the weight you would have chosen, Blaine?
Let's see. Well, at that point, he just had to draw a Hatsu out. But he could have waited and tried to swap it around a little bit to see what the wall would have given him later.
Right.
I would have, since I'm not seeing at all, like, except for the Tuso there, I would have waited a little bit and maybe baited a bit. But then again, you have an 8 so already out there.
Chi.
So maybe it looks a little bit safer than other tiles.
Caleb might be in danger of dropping here. Dodges, though. Finds the 4-mon. And, oh, there's a 5. That might incentivize Philip to fight. If he calls Puln here,
Pom.
he will. He says, I've got the value. You can't possibly have more than me.
Each.
Wow. So that'll be. We have Ricci from dealer now.
Ooh, this weight's
Shanpon weight.
not a very strong one here. There's only one tile that can possibly win from Tommy's perspective, and that tile's actually in Kayla's hand.
Also, Toyman is Tenpai as well. Waiting on
Boom.
5 so, but it's the 8 so that is going to come out for Ricci Chitoi. No Ura, but 6,500 points.
Yeah, all the winning hands have been 3 Han or 2 with 60 Fu, so essentially 3 Han. And nothing higher has come out. Daniel was really looking for the Dora flip there, but instead,
Even though, yeah, much higher things have threatened to come out.
absolutely, yeah, just like that. You know, Philip again had a Mangan on board. Tommy as dealer, always an expensive hand when dealer reaches, but it was the 3 Han hand that won.
That brings us to East 4. The Dora is White Dragon, and we see one of those in this hand in front of us for the dealer. Picking
Always,
up a shape of 2, 3, 4 for sequences.
I was going to ask you, Blaine. Always difficult to decide when to drop the Dora. Would you hold this as long as you can until it becomes inefficient to hold, or would you try to get rid of this Dora sooner?
I mean, when it's a dragon that's a Dora, I try to drop by the end of the first row, so this would be the point I would do it. Oh, but he's going to hang on a little bit longer.
Yeah, Kayla decides to just hold on, and at some point she might just decide that it will just be too late and just make it a pair in the hand.
Yeah, on the other hand, you are kind of lagging back in points. You are in 4th place right now. Still a lot of game to play, of course, but you might just try to wait it out a little bit. As we can see, that's the only white dragon on the whole table right now.
God, if she draws it now, she will be Tempai for Ricci Dora 2 at least.
1
Hmm. Oh, it kind of skipped ahead. Oh, she dropped the 9 pin. All right.
Yeah, quickly scanning the rest of the
Oh,
table.
wait. She dropped the 3 Mon and it got called. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Like, that did make sense.
Yeah, called by Philip, who's aiming for a Tanya, hoping to stabilize this lead a little bit, even though there's not really any value here. And now Kayla, tough choice. Do we take the Ricci on 7 Mon only for
1
Ricci Peiko? Dropping the Dora? She says yes.
Ooh, okay. That's always such a power move, reaching with the Dora anyway, so definitely a reason to keep it there.
It's a little scary because she doesn't know if it's going to get called or not. If someone pulls, then she's defenseless because she's already declared the Ricci. So some players like to just drop the Dora first and see what happens. And if it passes safely, then they take the Ricci. But then you lose the chance to get some extra value if your winning tile comes out. So she just slams the Ricci right away, and we'll see if Tommy doesn't defend.
There we go, pushing in and deals in. Ricci, Ipeiko. No Ura here, but that'll be 4,900 points for dealer.
Yeah, 3,900 points plus the Ricci stick back is 49 in the bank. And Kayla climbing back to third place. Tommy had really excellent shapes there and really wanted to win the hand to make it back over 30,000. But unfortunately, the 7 Mon did not fit nicely into those shapes.
That's right. And now we move on to, well, it's still East 4. For this hand, not a bad Onko of the 6 pin there. It looked like a con at first when it first came out, but you probably... Oh, yeah, that's another shape. That's Ishanten now, isn't it?
Very close. It is so efficient, though, for being 2 away that it might as well be Shantan.
Right. Pairs on the right here. 3 to be exact.
And again, that question mark on the Dora might be a Pifu hand, but how early do you want to drop the North? It's a little easier to drop a pay because only one player can easily palm that tile. But it will be... the shapes aren't really super amazing just yet for Philip, and so he might hold it thinking that it could be pairs, like you mentioned.
Now calling the 8 Mon, that's going to drop it out now. So moving away from pairs and from holding on the Dora. This does look like it's going to go for Ipeiko instead after dropping the 9, so.
Yeah, that... If you're planning to play for Tanya, then you've got to drop the Dora. Makes a lot of sense to me.
Didn't take a look at Daniel's hand yet. This is looking pretty nice. You have a sequence in Pinzu and good pairs in also Pinzu and Manzu.
Yeah, very efficient play from Daniel. 2 away from Tempai, just holding all the blocks and waiting for them to fill. And quickly on the left, Tommy is also 2 away from Tempai and playing the same way.
Daniel calling Chun there. Pretty important progress there. Even though it won't have a whole lot of value at the present moment.
Yeah, Daniel's in a similar position to Philip, where they're definitely ahead of the rest of the board. They want to end the dealerships of the players who are behind so that they have no chance to catch up so easily. And both Philip and Daniel aiming for relatively inexpensive hands to just move the game forward with the lead.
Meanwhile, our dealer's hand is just stalling out here. It's about the same as the last time we looked at it. But that'll be 10 pi for Daniel. Waiting on the 1 Mon, 4 Mon.
Yeah, usually a strong weight. Class A Dion men can switch to Shabo, but don't see a reason for that because you expect the 1 Mon to come out. Oh, in this case, the 4.
1
We have Ricci from the dealer, and that's going to deal in.
Yep, Caleb played
Chun
that
only.
very well, and 4 was overflowed out of the hand for that Chun only hand.
And no Ricci stick in since it was called right away.
Oh yeah, good point.
That'll bring us to the half. South 1 now. The Dora is 5, so that could fit nicely into this dealer's hand. That's about all I could say about this, though. It's not looking too great. Now you got a Sanshoku chance, maybe.
Oh, that's what I like to hear playing. That's right. 7, 8, 9. Let's go.
I mean, you got 789, you got 89 in Manzu, and 7 in Pinzu. I mean, hang on to whatever hope you've got.
Yeah, that 4-pin draw might end those dreams, but it's definitely good to think about. And actually, we really should look at the fact that Daniel has passed both of these Haku calls. He says, I'm not going to open this early, which is really interesting given, the play that we saw in the last hand for 1,000 points. He could just say, I'm going to win another 1,000 points and prevent Philip from running up his dealership. But here says, I think my shapes are good enough that I can get there closed. Would you also play the same way in this situation?
1、
Hmm. That's a good question. I mean, I would be tempted to just keep on advancing this clock, denying the dealership to my first place rival, calling that Haku, and then just riding that 1,000 points to at least a tie in the lead, at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
You'd likely get a lot more with Fu and all, though.
Right, and sumo or direct hit will actually give you that advantage. In the end, though, we'll try to get there closed, and we'll have to compete with uh, two very interesting hands. Across the way, Tommy with 2 Dora, and is that 5 pairs, so Chitoi Ishan 10. And also, Kayla on the left, aiming for Honitsu, has called twice in his Ishan 10.
Very nice, and now definitely leaning into the Pinzu there for that Honitsu.
I just saw Philip pulled in the 8-pin. Had discarded the 7-9. The Sanchoku was actually there.
Sorry, so say that again?
He pulled in the 8-pin after having discarded the 7-9 pin. So the Sanchoku was actually there.
Kind of losing you a little bit.
But now it's too late to drop the 8-pin.
You may
Too
not
scared
be doing
about
that on
Kayla.
stream.
All right.
So, yes, Kayla is... Sorry, not Kayla. Daniel is Tenpai now for the 2-mon. But that's the pair up in Tommy's hand right now. With a lot of other pairs. It's going to be a strong Chitoi, but not going to go that way. Going to drop the 4-pin here and be waiting Tenpai on... Actually, no, it is Chitoi. What am I saying? It is 8-mon is the wait here. But just like that, Kayla also jumping into Tenpai west and north.
Sumo.
With the dealer trying to make a flush out of it, but it's too late. 8-mon comes out for Sumo, Ricci, Chitoi, Dora 2 for a Hanemon. 13,000 points.
Wow, that was the bomb that Tommy needed. And just like that, into first place.
In above 30k and into first place. It's getting pretty crowded up here in the second half.
Daniel, the new dealer, kind of fortunate that he wasn't the dealer in the previous round, only paid 3,000 and actually jumps Philip as a result. Has the East pair, can simply call this for a dealer repeat.
That's right. And it looks like he's leaning towards that, but we already have Tenpai across the way. Kayla calling it now. Calling Ricci for the 4-pin, 7-pin wait for what looks to be... It isn't Pinfu because it's the south round.
Right, but that south has a pair of Doras, so Ricci...
That's
Dora...
right.
Ooh!
Oh, very nice.
Well, Kayla found her bomb, and this time it was Daniel who was the dealer, so just like that, we have an even game again.
Run for the shelters. We got a bomb rush happening right now, ladies and gentlemen.
That's incredible. It was Philip who was ahead and ate 6,000 points of Oyakabudi. And then Daniel was the only player who had, won another 5,000 points or so. He ate Oyakabudi, and now anyone can take first place.
Yeah, we're right back where we started with just 2 rounds left in this game. The Dora is 3-pin. Our dealer here, having a shape of 789, also has that Dora, but little else beyond that. Collecting the odds in Sozu, so it's kind of difficult for our dealer here to cement this lead, I should say.
Right. Almost hoping that Philip wins the cheap handoff of another player so that the dealership passes without losing any points. In the meantime, Kayla is looking amazing on the right, can call for the double south, and also has some interesting alternate draws here into perhaps expensive Tenpai. Just great sequences.
Also, if you're Tommy, you need points right now. Getting a first place in this matchup will definitely help, but you need some big wins to dig out of that hole and maybe even get yourself out of demotion. It could happen with 8 games to go. If you make those big wins, you could see yourself out of there.
Yeah, and with this gap to make up, I think we're going to see Tommy playing as aggressively as you feasibly can. If he has value, he'll shove it, even if there are dangerous tiles that he has to push.
These
Daniel,
other hands around the table are progressing nicely. Yeah, you're talking about Daniel's hand?
yeah, 2 Dora and Ishanten for Richie Pinfu. With those 2 Dora is a Mangan right back if you can get it. But Philip will call into Tempai on 4-7 so.
For Hatsunomi with Adora.
5 tiles in the wall.
Looking quite good.
Chi.
Ooh, Chi from Kayla will take the Atosuke Tempai. That means she needs to win on the
Yeah,
south. There it is.
There's the
Don't.
South coming out immediately. It would have been a Patsu if she called Ricci again, which she couldn't have done. But there you go, 2,000 more points.
Yeah, you always get a little bit of tension when you go Atosuke like this because, someone could have the south pair in their hand. They might never drop it. They could be stuck in the dead wall. You might never see it. In this case, it came out immediately, and you could breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, definitely 2,000 points you want to get. And those 2,000 points definitely could make a difference in this matchup with how close things are right now. I mean, looking at the scores now, Kayla 319. That's just 1,000 points behind the leader right now, Tommy.
And this
It'll be
is
Kayla's deal here.
Yeah, such a tense situation because even if Caleb wins a hand and overtakes Tommy, the game doesn't end. It's all last, but her dealership will remain. So she needs to not only pass Tommy up, but also manage to pass the dealership without losing those points again.
So you've got North Dora. You've got good shape in Pinzu right now. The shape coming up together in Manzu. In a perfect world, this finishes quickly, like getting the 4-pin right now.
Yeah, calling
But
the
after it already
Haku.
dropping the North, why would you hang on to this other one here? There's another North already dropped. Safe tile, guaranteed?
Yeah, perhaps. Although being the Dora, sometimes players will wait on the last. And yeah, she'll give that up here.
Right.
On the right, Philip, looking at very average hand, wants to declare Ricci, but Ricci Nomi doesn't do much then. Solidify third or potentially overtake. If he finds an Uda, that will be massive. But if he can find any way to eke out a little more value before declaring Ricci, he'll aim for it. I'm just not seeing a direct path with all the door being discarded.
Daniel making some good progress here, picking up an Anko of 3 so to go with the other good shapes in Manzu right now. Oh, and there's the last North for Kayla. She's going to hang on to it a little bit, though.
Yeah, it must be so sad just thinking about what could have been Tempai for Honitsudora 3. But she's still got excellent shapes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs. So this is Chitoi Ishanten. She could play for Honitsu. There's a lot of options. She's just probably really surprised that the Haku hasn't come out yet and maybe wondering if someone else is holding it as a pair.
That's right. You do have options with that 5 so as well, but there's the Haku. That'll come out right away, and now it's all aboard the Honitsu train.
Yep, she needs 7-pin and 2 5-pin. There are some other calls she can make to change the weights a little bit, like this 1-pin. It doesn't advance you in Shanten, but it can give you some different options. For example, pairing up the 6 and the 8 instead of the 6 or the 8 instead of requiring the 7 specifically.
And then you'd be waiting Shanpon on 3-pin, 4-pin.
Right, or you could even choose to wait 1-pin, 4-pin, discarding the 3, although since you have so many of the 1-pins in your hand, that might not be the most strategic option. Or maybe that is the most strategic option, saying that no one would believe I would wait on the last 1-pin, right?
Then again, you don't see a lot of pins in this discard pile.
Yeah,
I think the other players are kind of catching on to that too and being kind of safe with that, but that'll be
T.
10 pie on 8 pin now.
Oh wow, Philip just jams the 5 against the Honitsu, says, okay, it's no more than Honitsu Haku, so I can deal with 58, but
1.
that's a big risk.
But now we got Tommy calling Ricci.
Will he take the safe
This will be another
discard?
Cheetoy
Yes, he
here.
does.
Safe discard. He'll be waiting on the 8 pin as well.
Yeah, 2 players on that tile.
We see one other 8 pin across the way. That's part of a duo shape. I don't see that coming out, except maybe if you want to sacrifice one of your shapes.
Sumo.
Oh!
Oh, but it'll be Sumo for Tommy. Ricci
Wow.
Apatsu. Sumo, Cheetoy, no Ura love here, but 9,000 points. What, 9,000? That's going to be the lead.
The lead,
Right
the
at the
game
end.
ending, and also will drop Caleb below 30,000 points, so another 5 points of Uma gained. That was one of the best possible results for Tommy.
Absolutely. I mean, we were talking about his status in this leaderboard right now. That's going to get him. That'll get him out of, I believe that's 20th place. Yeah, that'll get him to just above. There you go. New standings. Just below Anya. It's about 30 or so points away. Meanwhile, that's going to pull Daniel and Philip out of the promotion zone, or one of them was in the promotion zone, I think.
Yeah,
but they're
Daniel
not
drops
there
down.
now. Yeah, but he's still got not a whole lot to come back into that, and still plenty games to play with this table. Philip staying pretty strong. He's got a good shot at getting into promotion. And Kayla staying just about where she was at, just losing 2 points here.
All right, well, we've got options now. We can spectate this game. Another series has also just started. We could also swap there.
I believe there were 3 tables kicking off at, 3 players on our not yet streamed list kicking off at 6.
Yeah.
6 Pacific.
And
I think we'll want to go to them at least in one of their games. So, what is the other games we got here? Which one just kicked
there's like
off?
7 games that started, but I kind of want to stay
There's a
here
lot.
because that table was insane. I
I
can't.
think so too. I mean, definitely, I want to see if Tommy can pull that off again and continue paying off that point debt. That would be incredible to see.
Absolutely, and if anyone is in the league and gets an opportunity, is in the chat as well, you get to see the graph for that. It's an insane graph. It's gonna, it's quite funny.
Oh yeah, I mean, you have Garth there, also in this demotion zone. He's already played his games. Looks like for this session. Well, maybe not quite all of them. I'm seeing some discrepancies here. Tommy has 2 less games than everyone else here.
Yeah, there's a
Do we
possibility
know why?
that it could have been missed games. They don't get added into the
True.
score here, but we'll leave
That
that
could be
for admins to figure out.
right, because we're already here in the next game. It's game 2 at this B2 table 1, round 5. The Dora in this East 1 round is 8mon, and our opening dealer, Kayla, has a great shape building up around that, with other good shapes in other sections of this hand. We have Philip as our starting South. This one's looking pretty nice. You have an Anko of 5 so, and shapes starting to kind of get together here. Across the way, Tommy, our opening West seat, has an Ipeiko perhaps coming together here. Good shapes in that Sozu, not so great elsewhere. And our starting North player, Daniel, with a nice looking Manzu set right there, picks up an Anko of 6 pin right now, but that'll be Ricci for dealer.
Oh, it's not only Ricci, it's Ricci, Cheetoy, Dora 2.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Waiting on that Dora. That's kind of a risky move because people are going to think twice before clicking that one.
Yeah, it's very much a Tsumo plan here. Unfortunately for Kayla, only 1 tile in the wall for the Tsumo. But honestly, is she going to not go for Dora 2? That seems like it seems a tough decision to make, right? To give up all that value for a better weight.
Right. You know, you do. That's kind of one of the perks of Cheetoy is just the awesome Dora acceptance because it's not just 1, it's going to be 2. And if you're reaching, you got a shot at 2 more.
That's right. You can always hit Uda, and if you do, that's guaranteed to Uda. Around the table, the players aren't necessarily giving up here. In fact, I would argue they're just kind of playing pretty normally. Philip now Chitoi Tenpai if he chooses to accept it. Does not. Says, I'm not going to play that aggressively.
Should mention that the 8-pin is a Suji trap here as well.
Yeah, 8-mon. Now, Suji works a little bit less well if the tile that's trapping it was your Ricci tile, because a lot of times it comes from a Diankan shape. In this case, a 5, 7, 9 that can accept the 6 or the 8. It's a very efficient shape to hold, and a lot of times players will drop the middle, more central tile, in this case the 5, and wait on the more terminal tile, the 8. And because it happens so frequently, players take notice of that, and actually sometimes it makes the tile less likely to come out even with the Suji trap.
So that's why that never works for me.
Indeed, yeah. Some people really pay attention to it. Some people just say, I don't believe you have it, and throw it anyway. And, even though there are eyes on that as a possibility, sometimes you've just got nothing better, and you just drop it in.
But hang on a minute. 8-mon in the hand. I think you hang on to that, though. Drop the 8-pin instead? Or the 4-mon?
Yeah, anything other than the Stora.
So that's locked away now. 5 tiles left in the wall anyways.
Yeah, looks like it will be Ryu Kyoku. Tommy has the last draw, and as long as he doesn't discard, a 9-pin will be safe.
Oh yeah, 9-pin is safe.
Yeah, Philip, of course, no Yaku here. Oh, and bails on the Tenpai. Could not afford to risk the 5-8-pin Suji. It did end up being safe, but you don't want to deal into the dealer's Ricci, and so it'll be Kayla picking up 3,000 points at Ryukyoku.
There we go. So 32,000 points, our opening lead here in this game. Dora is 6-0 as we continue with East 1. Look at these wins right now.
This is a high pie that I know you are intimately familiar with, Blaine.
Yes, very much. And you were on the call that night. We all know how that went. Luckily, I think... you've got... Oh, okay, never mind. I was going to say, you've got options here, but no, we're just calling West. We're going to see what happens here.
She was patient. She let the first one pass and said, you know what? I've got good enough shapes. I don't need to go for the Yakuman. And the second one came out. I was like, all right, this is my last chance. If I'm going to do it, I need to do it right now. And she is aiming for it. She does have backup options, though. She can play for Honitsu. And there's the East pair. We're doing it.
Oh, wow. Let's go. She probably watched that hand and saw how really the downfall of that was calling it open that way, into where basically all signs point to me waiting on North to complete that monster. And yeah, if you could keep that concealed, that probably would have ended things differently in my case.
Yeah, but it was a brilliant clip, and was so fun to watch. Oh my!
Oh, there's North!
And East is once cut. North is once cut.
And
South
it's waiting in Philip's hand.
Oh
North
my
is
goodness.
waiting in Philip's hand.
Eishan 10, when the North comes out, it will be called for Tenpai. I cannot believe we could be seeing this again.
And Philip really has no reason to hang on to this North unless a disturbance in the Force.
Yeah. It just came out, though, so really he's just thinking of it as a safe tile because his hand's not very strong. And there it is! There's Tenpai!
Oh, there it is! Tenpai for Sosushi.
Shou Sushi Yakuman. Forget the Honitsu, forget the Dora. This is 48,000 points if a North or East comes out. Again, Philip has been holding this tile, thinking of it as a safe tile. Here's a Ricci. That might be an excuse to drop it. The North is Genbutsu to the Ricci. Will Philip fall for it? Not yet. June's safer.
Ooh. You see 2 open calls there. You might be giving that North a second thought.
Oh, he's getting close.
Oh, but what about here? Oh.
3-so first. He's not falling for it yet. The Dora comes out. That's another safe tile for Philip.
You see his thread just slowly break in there. As the wall just keeps giving him encouraging tiles to just let go of that North.
He wants to
What's he going to do here, though?
He wants to call this and go for Honitsu or Chinitsu, but lets it pass.
Oh, wow.
This defense.
Great read there. Great read.
8-so has 1 in the wall. There's also 1 East in the wall. And, of course, our eyes are fixated on this North.
We also have Tenpai across the way for 3-so, by the way.
Oh, that's just Ishanten. Is still missing a pair.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Oh, there it is, the
Done.
north.
Oh, there it is! Called for dice. So Sushi. 48,000 points to the dealer.
Wow. Of course, Blaine here for the commentary. You had to be here to witness the glory of the Shosushi Yakuman.
It's a second-hand redemption arc, is what this is.
From the commentary booth, willed it into existence.
Which, hey, I was waiting on Dai Sushi back there, I believe.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yours was a monster, and this also. Well, this is Kayla at 80,000 points.
You know, I just got back from a tournament this weekend in which we had 2 East 1 Yakubans. Maybe that's the other thing that's following me here. You see the score now, of course. Unlike in that tournament where it ended when a player goes below 0, this is still continuing with Kayla with a monstrous lead now, 82,300 points. Sadly, that means Philip has to be the one almost 20,000 points in the hole.
Yeah, it's so rough for Philip, who has to somehow recover mentally after dealing to Yakuman in East 1. So you have to play the entire game. And I guess the fortunate thing about that is you have time to build hands. You can get out of the negative score. It's going to take a lot of effort and a little bit of luck too.
Absolutely. But speaking of luck, this hand for the dealer is looking great for another Honitsu win here.
2 calls in.
Yeah, 2 Han only, but I mean, come on.
The Honitsu, could also pair up the Dora and use that as the pair in the hand for a full Mangan. Philip is extremely happy to have the Haku pair and is hoping that he's able to call it for a Mangan of his own.
And on the left, Daniel with a pretty good hand here. 2, well, I thought that was a 3. I made that mistake recently.
Yeah, Tanya, oh, that's a great draw. So super wide Ishanten.
Very nice.
Philip, of course, opening up on the 8-mon, is going to wait on this Haku.
And now Tenpai for 4-pin White Dragon. Right as Kayla calls the 2-pin and could be dropping right back into this hand, at least giving him some points back. But that'll be Ricci again from Daniel.
Yeah, Philip might just shove because what else can you do at this point? Kayla is going to try to fold though.
Oh, always hard to fold with 4 tiles, but it could happen here. It's better than folding with 2 tiles.
Oh, goodness.
You got it on my mind now.
Well,
I was about to forget it.
You had your redemption. It's okay. We purged the demons.
I did. You're right.
And so defending with 4 tiles is very fun. It's almost like a mini game. You just you don't need to think too much, right? You only have 4 tiles to choose, so it's just rating which tile is the safer out of all 4. And every single discard that happens around the table can have an effect. Oh, the Haku though, that was not safe. And Caleb will give some of those points back.
Just a Mangan. But that will help him cut his debt in half, essentially.
Well, yep, the debt to 0 at least. Going positive is a big moral victory. It has you feeling a lot better. And Philip making his way to the positives here.
Here's the good news.
You can pick up a lot at once.
Right. It's just East 2. He's got 2 whole dealer rounds ahead of him. One of them starts now, and this hand is looking pretty great for it. The Dora is 4 mon. He'd like to see those come up in this hand. That would fit very nicely with these shapes.
And Kayla on the left, another pin Honitsu.
And then Tommy with... Yeah, Tommy's got a good Anko here of 1 mon. We see Kayla again. Kayla's on the call train here, getting this real quickly going. North seat called, 4-pin called.
She would love to be able to call the 1-pin for Toy Toy. Fortunately, that's been discarded, but she still might end up with that sort of hand if the 8-pin comes out instead.
We see it hanging out in Tommy's hand right now.
Tommy, if he's thinking about doing Chitoy, might discard the 8 pin in favor of waiting on the 9 pin. So we could see it come out. And Tommy definitely moving towards Chitoy after discarding away from the 1-mon Anko.
The dealer, meanwhile, kind of stalling a little bit here. It was looking nice with that 456 Sanshoku, but you see none of that in the other
Boom.
in Sozu. Meanwhile, that'll be Tenpai for Kayla. 1 pin south are the weights here. 1 pin, of course, discarded already early on. No souths we see yet, though.
Yep. Daniel discards the 2-mon pair, aiming for the Diamond in the upper Manzu and the Diamond in the lower Pinzu. Again, with those 1 pins all gone, I guess Daniel can't see the other 2 in hand. So he thinks that he can draw 1 pin into Tenpai. It turns out he needs the 4 pin, and that might give him a Tanyao chance as well.
See that. South looks really safe, though, if it gets picked up.
Oh, Tenpai.
I mean, safe against Kayla, I should say.
Daniel draws Tenpai, chooses to Dama here because he doesn't think the 1 pin, 4 pin weight's very live. He's right, and Mikhail's got a pull on the left, and all the 1 pins. Oh, wait 1 turn, actually.
That'll be Ricci.
He sees the dealer open up and says, you know what? You're going to have a lot of trouble playing this hand if I reach.
Reaching with the Dora as well. Does the 4 pin? No, not quite. Good read there.
And Philip is in absolute push mode. Doesn't even have a Yaku, it's just aiming for K10 and a dealer repeat.
As
And
you do.
Will be completely safe as long as he doesn't draw south.
So the 2 souths are in the dead wall? I guess we'll never know. Oh, wait. Oh, right, K10. He's not no Yaku yet.
Yeah, they were dead. Wow.
Wow.
No one drew them. So 3 players Tenpai. Philip making another step back into the positive zone. And hello, what is this?
Wow. Well, it's Kokoshi if you get rid of some norths. I don't think he's going to go that way, though, dropping the 1 so right now. I think you turn this into a flush.
Yeah, definitely Philip's trying to find a way to make this a flush. Oh, wow. Just 3 Kokoshi tiles drawn in a row. But we've already made our choice.
Are we seeing his redemption arc here? Well, no, the Souths are already gone, pretty much.
Yeah, it's going to be Chun and maybe more. Maybe Honitsu, maybe Dora. Like, all of these maybes that he really needs to pick up some points, but Honitsu's not coming in. Chun hasn't even come out yet. Looks like it'll just be a standard hand for Philip. If he can get their close, though, having all the Fu is going to be helpful in increasing his score.
Yeah, I think you're just looking for the repeat button here.
Not going to be easy when Tommy's got great shapes on the right for Ricci Penfu.
Oh, yes. Across the way. Good shapes for, well, Ricci anyway.
Yeah, he shunted already. Kayla on the left also technically Ishantan. Although in that situation, she might have considered dropping the 9 pin instead of the 5 pin. Because this upcoming...
I think we lost you a little bit on that sentence there.
Oh yeah, 9 pin to...
That'll be Ricci for Daniel across the way. It's a 2-sided weight, 3 so, 6 so. There's the 3 so picked up by Johnny. He's going to go ahead and reach as well. Chasing for the 9-mon, 6-mon.
2 good weights. Which one would win? And Philip, although he had an early advantage...
Which one comes out?
Yeah, kind of stumbling here.
I think we're seeing Kayla fold to this now. No reason to go chasing anything at this point. You've got an incredible lead, but I've watched people with incredible leads lose them from going on too many chances, so I think that's what we're going to see Kayla do here.
Yeah, this 9 starting to look safe, right?
It is, and there it goes. It's going to deal into Tommy For Ricci Pinfu, Uradora won. Nice little cherry on top there.
Yeah, Philip was not going to fight, but then his hand started to come together. He ended up Ishanten actually. So said, all right, well, if you're going to tell me to fight, I'll fight. And the knight doesn't look that bad. The discards after Ricci certainly helped Tommy win that hand.
And that'll be East 3 starting now. 9 pin is the Dora. Some difficult shapes here for our dealer, for Tommy here.
At least the silver lining in this hand is you have the Haku pair to open and try to increase your speed.
Let's see, on Daniel's hand here, seems to be in a similar boat, though he's getting a few pairs happening here.
Has it been Daniel or Tommy who always has the pairs? I mean, we've seen multiple Chitoi, Tempai, and wins so far in these two games.
I feel like the Chitoi Fairy has visited pretty much everybody in this hand at least once. In this game, I mean, tonight.
Yeah, 2 Dora for Daniel is quite strong, though. He's looking for a fairly standard Ricci Dora 2, potential Shabo on the Dora and the Tuso. For Kayla across the way, very normal hand, aiming for Ricci. A couple awkward shapes to work through. She'll probably be a little bit lagging behind the rest of the table here. And for Philip on the left, amazing shapes. Tempai slams a Ricci with Ricci,
Ooh.
Pinfu, Dora 1, potential Ipeko if the 9-mon were to come out.
Could also win on 6-mon. We're seeing the 6-mon pretty well locked up in the hand across, though.
Oh.
There's 9. It's looking pretty safe. There it goes. Ricci Pinfu, Ipeko, Dora 1 for Mangan.
All right, Philip making up more ground, and now actually has a target. Needs to make up 20,000 points on Daniel to slam a 3rd place. Daniel had the 2 Dora in hand, and terminal tiles aren't usually that dangerous, so it seemed like an okay try from his perspective. You're surprised to see that hand ends up being a Mangan.
Absolutely. East 4 begins now. 2-mon is the Dora. Pair of Souths in this hand, and some good shapes forming up around the other parts as well.
The only sad thing is that we don't have Tanyao. Could have considered dropping South-South instead, aiming for the Tanyao, but this is certainly the more efficient way to play, and rewarded Ishanten.
Very nice.
Oh, doesn't take the Ishanten, says, I can make these shapes better and maybe aim for 3, 4, 5 Sanchoku. This is a very greedy play. We'll see if it gets rewarded. It's not so bad to lose a pair because this pin shape and even this mon shape, they can all act as your pair.
This might run into this Tenpai from Tommy now, which has... We should start a Chitoi counter here, because this is Tenpai for Chitoi. 7 pin is the weight here.
Almost
7 pin...
I was going to say almost Dion Peiko, but...
Yeah, we could see 7 pin maybe come out of Kayla's hand here.
Yeah, just kind of floating loosely over there. I think she probably just wants to be out of this hand.
Right, I would too.
And Philip says, I can't afford to be out.
Say, take that 747 out of here. I've been looking up flights. For the Seattle tournament, that's coming soon. Register today.
I'm registered, you're registered, we're all going to Seattle.
Actually, I've not registered just yet. I need to make sure I'm getting the time off, but I should.
Wow, Kayla's actually getting there. Unfortunately, she's already dropped the 4-mon, otherwise she'd be Tenpai. And Philip pulls into Toy Dora 2. He's absolutely shoving. Unfortunately for him, he cannot deal in anymore as all the 7 pins have been drawn by other players. The only question remaining is... Where's Last
Speaking of 8 pin, though, we got Sanshoku Doko open across the way.
You're right. I didn't even realize that was Doko.
8, 8, and 8. Waiting on the 2-mon now to finish this off for
this has
Toy's Sanshoku Doko.
This has to win. Come on. Sumo 2-mon. Tanyao,
Oh,
Toy Toy, Doko,
now
Door 2.
sadly, two of the Tumons are locked up in Tommy's hand. And Tumon would look rather dangerous against Tommy right now,
Yeah, definitely don't want to
especially
drop
with
the
it
ball.
being Dora.
Well, there's one in the wall. There's 2 draws for Philip. It needs to happen.
Uh,
Get
I
Haite
don't
for
know.
Baimon?
If this were 6 turns ago, I would be thinking about maybe swapping out that weight. But then again, when you've got a Dora Tonki, it's kind of hard to let it go because that could complete somebody else and you're on the hook for it. So
Yeah.
that could go either way.
Yeah,
Either way, he's picking up 1,500 points, along with Tommy.
happy we got to see the Tempai. A little sad that it didn't come to fruition, but it was a brilliant hand for both players. And a shame that it amounted to a mere 1,500 for both.
Yeah. It's a rare Yaku. I mean, I believe I was close to that in real life
Boom.
at a meetup fairly recently. But we're moving on to the half now. South 1, the door is 7 so. And our dealer with a great triplet already, Anko, 3 Mon, but we already have Tenpai across the way for Tommy, waiting on 4 pin. He's already called the Hatsu. That'd be Hatsu Nomi. Could switch things up here, I think.
Yeah, it's really interesting because switching to the 5-pin 4
Boom.
Mon Shabawe, slightly worse,
Come.
but you give yourself a chance to shift from there into a Toy Toy if you draw the 5 Mon and 3 pin. 5 Mon and 3 Mon, I should say.
Falls Khan on the Hatsu. That makes the new Dora 8 pin. 8 pin, excuse me.
Oh, would have gotten the Tsumo already, but we'll probably win off of Philip soon because Philip needs to drop this 4-pin for Chinitsu.
Boom.
Oh, there's the 4 pin coming out for the Roam. For Yakuhai Hatsu, that's going to be 50 Fu 1 Han for 1,600 points.
Yeah, and that just hastens the game into Philip's dealership.
Yep, I believe Kayla is totally fine with that outcome.
Just chilling
Don't
there.
need a dealer run on this lead.
Not with 73,000 points.
Nah. It'll be Philip now, beginning perhaps his comeback. This hand is looking good for it too. You already have 2 completed sequences, 5, 6, 7. Just want to nudge that Sozu 1 up to get to 5, 6, 7 itself. Pinzu not doing a whole lot though, so you're probably just going to take what you get here. Dora's 1 pin. We see 2 of those in Tommy's hand right now. Pretty decent shapes around that as well. Now we see one forming up for Daniel across the way. Then again, I'm seeing pairs. Might be thinking that for a way to accept 2 Dora. And Kayla with some good, well, decent shapes. I think this hand is the one that needs the most work out of the table, but we'll see. That 3-pin pickup looks nice.
Back to dealer Ishanten Kutsuki, meaning we have all our sequences and pair. We just have 2 floating tiles, this 5-pin and this 6-mon. And once we stick a tile onto the 5-pin or the 6, I should say 6-so, the 5-pin or the 6-so will be Tempai. So it's a really wide Ishanten. This is a sticky, or rather this 3-pin will stick onto the 5 and he'll just slam the Ricci. Not going to wait any longer. It's not the ideal weight, but it's Tempai, and Philip needs points, so Ricci. Very simple
Still,
logic chart.
you have Tanyao either way. I'd almost wait just a little bit and maybe try to improve this weight.
Or Ipatsumo.
But you don't need to. You can just Ipatsumo. No big deal. That'll be 3 Han before the Tanyao, so Mangan, and that gets him into the positives.
Okay, keep in
Not
mind that
point-wise.
Philip dealt into 48,000 points. A dealer, Yakuman, he's back into the positives. He's won a lot of points. This has been a long and arduous process, but you are into the positives. It's such a burden off your shoulders to have come this far. Philip could even get a third in this game, and this wouldn't be the first time that he's dealt into a Yakuman and managed to get a third.
Wow, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Third is definitely within reach, though.
In a previous season, Philip was in a desperate situation. He needed to score points and ended up shoving into a kokushi. It came back in that game and survived without taking the maximum damage. So definitely has the experience in coming back after a tough situation early. And oh my goodness, could we actually force Honitsu? That's what he's doing.
There we go. And calling it regressively here. Now he just needs to... Well, it's a little bit awkward Shanten here, because you kind of need to get the triplet going or get a pair on your 1 or your south.
Step by.
Or you do that. Never mind.
Are we gonna
That's the other option.
eat Patsumo? Is the 2-mon gonna come right now? That's not a good call. So he'll let it pass. All the 2-mon are in the wall.
That's right. Still 40 tiles left in said wall. Across the way, our west seat has an Anko of wests. And good pairs to go with it. That could also be a closed Honitsu.
The closest... Oh, that 2 doesn't fit.
There's 2-mon, and there it goes. Roan.
Another Mangan. Philip's in third.
Philip continues his rise, tripling his score, basically.
Philip's
19,000 points.
Almost
Wow.
in second.
Do not change that channel. We got a comeback in progress here, everybody.
And, okay, there's no way that Philip catches Kayla. The gap is way too big, is what I'm going to say right now. Feel free.
And I mean,
feel free to play that
prove
quote
us wrong.
back. Yeah,
it's definitely not going to happen with this hand, I'm afraid. Then again, it keeps getting better.
Yeah, it's a little difficult here because you have to give up on something. You have to give up on Sanchoku.
You're seeing these incomplete shapes fill themselves in.
Right.
It looks like he waited a bit long on there.
And might have just said, you know what,
I'm going for Chanta here.
Yeah, Sanchoku, Chanta, Itsu, all of them are options.
He is dealer, but this will be a kind of a slow hand to go. Let's look at the other ones. I mean, you got Tommy here with 1, 2 completed sequences already. But here goes Philip completing another sequence of his own.
Yeah, it's definitely Chanta.
Kayla making sure this shuts down immediately by calling the 6, 7, 8. This hand is a Shanten. Let's see, across the way we have a Peiko coming up with a good shape in Sozu to go along with it.
Ooh.
I mean, if this hand wins, it's against some serious odds.
Yeah, we got the Ricci on the right. Ricci Pinfu. Classic hand. And now that Philip's in second, does he pump the brakes? Does he say, okay, I can fold out a hand? Or does he continue to shove?
I think as dealer, you want to shove this.
It's so difficult. You've got almost no information.
Then again, a second's a second, but he's still looking at negative points from where he's at right now. Negative Uma.
Now there's a second reach, so even more inclined to bail. But Kayla's not giving up here. Ishanten. At least breaking the Ippats.
And now 7 pins safe, 8 pins safe. He could stay in this a little bit longer.
Kayla now Tempai on the 3-pin.
Ooh, there we go. 7, 8, 9 now, and Sozu completed. Now he just needs to find a pair.
The wall's
1, 2,
saying
3.
fight.
But yeah, it's great, but you need a pair right now, and that 2 is going to be what you have to drop. Then again, you could just go for Haku. You could lay this up and be just fine. He's going to read out with the 1-mon here.
Yeah, hates this 4, so he hates this 4, so does not want to cut it. 7 passes, so the 4 is looking better.
Sumo.
There's the Sumo.
There you go. Good effort, but we'll end with Sumo here. Ricci, Sumo, Pinfu for 5,300 points.
Notably, Daniel, though, had Uratu if he managed to win that hand. It was so close to a Mangan. It will be Tommy's dealership, though.
Yeah, and Tommy is retaking second here, and this is a hand to go even further. I mean, first is still quite a ways away, but you have 1 Dora, you've got some pairs, great shapes, those pairs are all pretty mingling nicely together.
On the right, Daniel, more pairs across the table. Kayla with a fairly normal hand. Could turn into Tanya if you've got the 9 so pair. very likely that she wants to be able to use the Dora 7 Mon, and now has technically 2 Mon shapes or one very strong shape. On the left, Philip, looking for more points, wants second back, might consider Mon Honitsu. I mean, that worked so well last time.
Philip's got a pretty good contender here.
It's getting to the point where you might just shove for it. I mean, forget this 5 soak.
Each.
Oh, never mind. There's a dealer Ricci.
Ooh. And that'll be waiting on
Just the 7
the
pin.
7 pin, which we only see one of. It's in Daniel's hand right now.
Philip can still fight for this. Haku's pretty safe. He just has to shove the 5 soak.
Daniel picking up an East Anko. It's not Yaku High for him. Gonna see Philip push out the white here.
And now that the 2 so's come out, 5 so is Nakasuji.
And they're gonna go on that. There's another 7 pin. I'll drop 4 Mon instead.
Tommy drawing to 2 tiles in the wall. The problem for Philip is these shapes are a little bit weak. He needs exactly 3 Mon and then a connector to this 8 Mon. Well, there's the 3 Mon. Okay, that's a start.
He's dropping East. Could be a fold. Could be a shift into something else.
Definitely feels like a fold from Daniel.
Oh, yeah. Drop another East. That settles it.
Oh, there's another draw. That's Tenpai for Philip, waiting 6-9 Mon with Honitsu Door 2. And now he's shoving.
That would be really nice. Yeah, definitely a shove for this any day of the week.
It's funny, if he draws the 1 Mon, he'll drop the 4 and hope to win on the 9 for Chanta as well.
That'd be crazy.
How many tiles are in the wall for his weight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Visible to us, so that means only 3 in the wall. That's more than the 2 that Tommy has. Oh, he got the 1. Oh, but he missed it. He missed the 4
not
was
gonna
safe.
do it.
Slight mental lapse there, but if he wins on the 6, it won't matter.
I mean, you gotta think of what his mind is going through. Dealt into a Yakuman early on in the game. Now having a chance at comeback. It's a roller coaster, literally, if you look at a graph
absolutely.
of the score.
We thought the graph of the last game was crazy. This one's even more insane.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to say, I dealt into a Yakuman Roan this game. And you look at the scores, that does not look like the case.
No. And it will be 2
That'll
players
come to a
done
draw.
by. So the little miss on the 1-1 not mattering here. Tommy and Philip both making progress, and Daniel drops a little bit farther behind, but still has a dealership left.
South 3 continues. Dora is East. We see one in this hand for the dealer right now. Could make great use of that. Otherwise, I'm not really feeling these other shapes right now. Nothing really complete. You're just waiting on a lot of stuff. You got a laundry list, or a shopping list, maybe? I don't know. Pick your favorite list.
Yeah.
On the other hand, look at Daniel's hand here. Got Chun triplet, couple of pairs in so.
It's in the neighborhood of a strong hand, but just having the Chun Anko by itself isn't enough. You need a little bit more. 3 Mon makes you think Toy Toy. It makes you think San Anko. It makes you think Su Anko. We'll see.
Yeah, there's definitely that germ of an idea there. Kayla, meanwhile, 789 Mon.
Planning to call the West and win with West only. She's like, I've had enough of all y'all taking my points. I'm just gonna move us to all last and end this game.
She wants to take that money to the bank.
Philip holding this East on the left, hoping that he can pair that up, make Hakudora 2 at least. And notably, Dealer dropped the East. That's the only player that can easily make use of it. So Philip is feeling confident that he can as either in the wall or maybe as a singleton
Boom.
in another player's hand that will get dropped later.
There's the West now for Kayla. She's 10 pi with 3 mon, 6 mon for West only.
Chitui Shanten for Daniel on the right, but again, he wants more.
7.
That'll be Philip calling for the 5, 6, 7 mon.
Speaking of more, Anko for Daniel, Suanko Ishan.
I mean, now you're Ishan 10 for a Yakuman of your own. That's one way to come back.
There's no way we see 2 Yakuman in one game, right? Surely not.
Better yet, from the person who ate the last one, you know?
There is a 7-so in the wall. There is an 8-pin in the wall. There are 2 3-mon in the wall. It's totally live.
Very much so. 30 draws left.
That's about 7 for Daniel.
All right, so now if he waits on the 6, so we see 1 on the board already. 1 also just got picked up by Philip. There's the 6 mon, staying in Tommy's hand here.
Yeah,
Not going to deal into Kayla.
It's efficient for now, but if he gets Tenpai, he'll have to drop it.
Good point.
Ooh, Suanko Tenpai!
There's 7 pin! Oh my goodness, comeback of the century in progress. 3 mon, 8 pin for Suanko if it gets drawn.
Yeah, now, of course, Philip had come back from dealing in. It's Daniel who's trying to come back from being in 4th now. 1 8-pin, 2 3-mon. It's so live.
I saw the dots for a minute. I thought that was it. 6 tiles left.
There's one of the
There's the 8 pin.
There's the 3!
And there's 3, 2, 1!
Second Yakuman!
2 Yakuman in 1 game. Total redemption here.
What?
Picking up a massive sumo, 34,300 points.
All right, so Tommy
He's got a shot at first now.
Tommy after being, because he was dealer, ate the Oyakaburi. So Philip is in 3rd instead, and we're in all last. What is this game?
I picked one hell of a game to come out of semi-retirement for. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. It's been a while, Blaine, since I've been able to cast with you. You come back and bring 2 Yakumans with you. What is this?
Absolute insanity. That's all I can say. We see Daniel really jumping on this.
Yeah, why not? I mean,
jumping on this opportunity here.
You've got your Yakuman. You're in 2nd place. You can fight for 1st. It's your dealership. Itsu Chun or Chun with Dora. Both of them are viable options here. On the right, Kayla has a very standard hand, probably Richi Pinfu. Across the table, Philip's like, please, I just want this game to end. I've dealt into a Yakuman. Another player has sumoed Yakuman, and I'm not last. Please, just let me win this game.
I gotta say, that's an achievement for basically eating 1.5 Yakuman and still staying above 1st. Sorry, above 0, I should say.
If Daniel goes for the Itsu, he deals in. But no, he holds the winning tile. And it's going to be a long time before he gets a 7. Wow, Dora cut from Tommy. He's afraid of the Furiten since he's already cut a 5-pin before.
He wants to reach and take advantage of getting 2 Ura shots.
Yeah, already has the Yakuhai confirmed in hand, so Birichi Pei, plus a Dora probably.
Dealer 10 pi now, 6 pin, 9 pin.
Yeah, I've managed to upgrade the weight from just 6 pin to incorporate 2 more 9 pins, which are both in the wall.
2 6 pins are a pair in Kayla's hand right now.
1 6-pin in Philip's hand, so 3 tiles in the wall for Daniel's weight. Philip is just going to discard every single tile that he draws, except for maybe an 8-pin. Or maybe he thinks the 3 is better than the 6 and shifts, but that's not going to have too much of an effect on these hands. There's 1 7-pin in the wall, but... Ooh, does Daniel move? I don't think so. This weight's much better.
Right. Yeah, no reason to switch that up.
And notably, in order to get the 6-9 weight,
Sumo.
Daniel had to drop a
Oh.
Dora, but gets rewarded with Sumo. And that's Dora 3. I forgot about the fact that Shun
Yeah.
was the new Dora. So another Mangan.
And now just 300 points away from the lead.
This is insane. It took a Yakuman to come back,
Boom.
but okay. Philip says no. I refuse. I refuse to let this game. I tried last hand. The 7-pin didn't come. How about double Yakuhai? Is that going to be good enough?
Well, it's not quite double Yakuhai. He's
Boom.
West Seat.
It is the South.
Oh,
round,
you mean the
though,
White
so,
Dragon?
Yeah, though if he gets the White Dragon, then he'll have that opportunity. Oh, Shun called by Daniel. That will be Ishanten, actually. Philip moving towards Honitsu. If he redraws the 5-pin, though, he'll probably accept that Tempai. Temporarily, at least.
Each.
And now we have Ricci from Tommy. Looking to end this on as high a note as possible. Crazy weight pattern here, though. It would be just 369, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
5-pin weight now from Philip.
Didn't really want to redraw this and is in a lot of trouble. 5-pin Furiten, of course, and so Philip cannot win. But also needs to maintain Tempai.
Chi.
And Daniel's going to deal in.
Dong.
There you go.
So
It's a shame to be that close to overtaking a Yakuman lead there, but he's still going to go home with a lot of points here.
Yeah, Kayla will end up the winner, plus 39.7 after a Show Sushi victory in East 1 as dealer. Daniel take the second place with positive 23.9 with a comeback Suanko. Tommy survives third place, minus 25.5. And Philip, a valiant effort after dealing in to the first Yakuman, coming back to take second place at some point, but ended up getting sumoed back down to fourth, 38.1. What a thrilling match that was.
Absolutely. I mean, 2 Yakuman in one match is always a instant classic, in my opinion.
Instant classic.
But take a look at
absolutely.
Take a look at the leaderboard. Of course, that will greatly change the complexion of things. But Tommy, despite eating that Yakuman, eating 1.5 Yakuman, as I've said, still not down as low as he was when we started tonight. So he made the most out of that situation, I believe.
Yep, Tommy managed to pull out of fourth in that very last hand. Philip was the person who took the biggest hit, dropping down to 20.9. And Kayla climbing up to 13.4, escapes the negative area, moves up. And Daniel, the biggest winner in that game, I think, in terms of the standings, climbing back to that promotion spot, one slot away from it, and surpassing Andrew.
Just 11 points away from passing up Blake. Wow. I mean, I'm pretty speechless right now. That was insane.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find another game though, because I think they are on pause and probably done for the evening. They probably have 2 games scheduled another date.
I would be too after that. Just saying.
But there was a game that started just a few minutes ago, so we'll probably hop in there and catch 1.5 of that game. And this will be a B3 table. We a lot of players that I've seen in the past, but haven't seen yet this semester, this season, I should say. So I'm really excited to see.
A semester.
It really is.
This is like one big high school.
It will take us a second to pull that game up, so perhaps we can take a quick break to refresh the screen and refresh the game, refresh our minds as we mentally recover from witnessing 2 Yakumans in a single game. We'll be back after all about 2 minutes. See you then.
Back to Monday Night Roan, and we have seen some incredible Roans tonight, including a Yakuman, and then another Yakuman, which was a sumo. You were just telling me, Nathaniel, when we were looking at this game just about before we came back from the break, that there was a Daisangen happening, and you kind of see the aftermath of that here.
1.
Yeah,
But
we saw Noomba, our current perspective, with the Chun and the discards, did give up on it and ends up with Honitsu instead, now contending
I mean,
with
this
Ricci.
is nice points, and especially with Noomba being leader here. That's Elwin. I'd definitely accept this at East 4,
Yeah,
or really anytime.
makes a lot of sense. Ooh, Dora,
Meanwhile, we have
can you drop this against the Ricci?
you'd have to give up Tenpai. Gonna go for it. It's paused because Rob could call that. He's got 2 Dora.
Yeah, should be noted.
Rob G, Rob Glass.
Rob is our dealer on the left. We'll get a change in perspective as soon as this hand ends.
Right. It could end very quickly here.
8 so's the wait for this Chitoi across the way, Ricci Chitoi.
And then we see, it's a bit blurry on my end, but that is Hatsuber,
Yes.
Tamas E. I was playing against him last night.
Oh, really?
Is this division, I don't think this is session 5.
Yeah, this is B3. They could also be making up an earlier game.
I think that's the case because he's in my group right now for session 5.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and update that with the session that they're
Boom.
playing.
That'll be Roan now from Rob dealing in to Eric
Ooh.
for a Mangan for Ricci Chitoi with some Ura love, as we were talking about. Guaranteed Ura 2.
Yeah, it does hit the Ura, and when you get 1, you get 2. And it will be a close battle now between Eric and current dealer Elwin for top of this table.
Yeah, that's a dead heat now. It looks like, as far as out of the 2 of them, well, they each have a pretty decent chance, but Noomba here, Elwin has quite the sequences forming up right now. We see Eric with some decent pairs, but that's really about it.
When the best part of your hand is the pairs, that's usually not a good sign that your hand is doing very well.
However, you have 2 Souths. That's one of those pairs. You can call that for Yakuhai.
That is true. We are in the South round. On the right, Hatsuber Tamas is progressing the hand fairly normally. 8 so kind of sticking out, but has so many floating tiles, he doesn't have to think about dropping it yet. Hoping to draw a connector, and that 4-mon is a huge fill. It finishes the 3-4-5 sequence. And of course,
nice.
On the left, Rob with the Chun pair and a couple more pairs, probably hoping to just call, win the hand, advance the round, stay in the game, don't let someone run away, and make up a bigger hand later.
And that's Tomas picking up another pair.
I wonder if he'll consider
with
Chinitsu.
Yeah, all those Manzu here. You'd think maybe Chinitsu, as I'm kind of hearing you say, but yeah, he's got a lot happening on the other suits. Now you've got pair of 3s, pair of 4s,
pair of 8s, door 2.
A pair of 8s, yeah, that's right.
And it will be. I know Tomas is a player who is willing to play for Chitoi. Some players don't like that. Now he has 5 pairs, so he has to actually consider this.
Yeah, that's right.
Blaine, I consider you to be one of the players that also is willing to play for Chitoi.
Oh yeah, I love it. It's a great hand. There's no reason not to love it.
Absolutely, and Elwin, we just saw Chitoi win for Mangan, so
we've seen a lot of Chitoi tonight.
That's very true. Mangan, Hanuman, 32. We've seen the whole gamut. It'll be Tenpai for Elwin, Ricci, Pinfu, winning 3-6 pin with 3 in the wall.
That's right. Pretty good shot here. 35 tiles left to go.
And Rob is absolutely shoving against this. He says, I'm Ishanten. I can take you on. He finds Tempai. Will slam a
Oh, there we
Ricci.
go. Chasing Reach. Also waiting on Sean Pawn's 6-pin Red Dragon.
That means if anyone drops the 6-pin, it will be a double roll.
But that Red Dragon looks pretty safe. The first one coming out just 3 turns ago.
相撲
But there'll be 6-pin. Our dealer here will win with Ricci Sumo Pinfu. No Ura, but 5,900 points, getting the sticks.
Yeah, that will give the edge to Elwin in this current race for first. Maintains the dealership in South 1.
And hello there to GMO Gamer. Thanks for rating us here with your party of 7. We're in some pretty action-packed Ricci tonight. Y'all just missed 2 Yakumans, by the way. No big deal.
2 Yakumans in a single game, but we are hoping for more. There was a chance at Daisangen earlier that we barely missed. And a lot more action going to be happening all night long.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot more where that came from. This dealer hand right now, of course, Dora being 7 so. We'd like to see that in this hand here. Some good shapes, even though none of them are really complete yet.
Yeah.
Keeps drawing more pairs, really.
And these are like the worst shapes as well. 889, 112, 122, 889. It's the same shapes over and over again. They're on the edge. That's where they're the most awkward. So Elwin might actually be considering playing for 7 pairs. Chitoy again. We've seen so much of that tonight.
And that's really the best thing about it. Chitoy is a hand that you can make when nothing else is working for you, except pairs. Hopefully pairs are working for you. If not, that's sad.
On the right, Tomas does have 2 Dora, chance at 789 Sanchoku. Doesn't need to force it, though. Will be just holding the Dian Shanten.
And Rob here, this hand's looking pretty nice. I mean, again, it's kind of the same deal. It looks nice at first, but then you realize there's no real completed shapes. These pairs seem to be towards the middle, though, so a little bit more you can do with stuff like that.
Yeah. You know what's really funny? I called Tomas's hand Dian Shanten because it was technically Ishanten, but this Tempai is so bad that he's not even taking the Ricci.
Yeah, fair enough.
Now, if he draws the 7 so, you can just sumo.
1
Okay, it says,
Okay.
I've realized the error of my ways. There is a way to get a Jiamen here by cutting the 3 instead of the 4. At Ricci Pinfu, waiting 6-9. So, and with the 2 Dora, that will be a Mangan.
That's plenty good enough for me. You're in that sweet spot, right in the middle of the hand. It's a bit early, but not too late that everybody can see what's safe against you. Might as well just throw the stick.
Yeah, the awkward bit is that one of the weights is the Dora indicator, which people are usually pretty afraid to discard. The other weight is near Dora, so again, a tile people might be a little bit wary of discarding, but your hand is so good that you just want to sumo that and give yourself a chance at Hanemon. Somehow Rob is actually
Rob?
making this work.
I was about to say, yeah, that's another good progress pickup from Rob.
He can safely cut
He's
the
gonna put it back, though.
Yeah, 4 so 3 so was totally fine. A little bit weaker of a shape, but could have tried that. Instead, makes the 4-pin relatively safe with this 7-pin cut. So Ishanten there, but
Sumo.
there's the Tsumo.
Ooh, very nice. That's just what he needed. Ricci's Sumo Pinfu, Dora 2, and one more Dora for the road from the dead wall.
Yeah, finds the Ura, makes that a Hanemon, and we're gonna have a new first place.
There we go. 39,000 points and the dealership as we move into South 2.
All right,
Dora this time is...
Oh.
Sorry, what were you about to say?
So
I mean, Tuman, he just picked it up.
Absolutely. You're feeling so good about that win. You open up this high pie and say, yes, I can make this one win too. I can make Itsu and the Manzu. I can just drop these honor tiles and go for a Pinfu. I can even draw central tiles, drop the 9-mon and go for Tanyao. So many options, but this Itsu is really looking like it's possible here.
I'm thinking Elwin's got a Chanta possible, or a Junchan, I should say.
1
I mean, the only real objection to that is your 4-8 thing, floating tiles for the Sozu. But you pick up that 9 pin, and this hand's going to go places.
Yeah, really interesting from Tomas here. Just says, it's Itsu, 100%. I'm going to open for this. And it does reduce the value of the hand a little bit. But Tomas values the dealer repeat and the potential speed of being able to call. So has to make a choice now, though. Do we keep the 5-6 pin or the 2-3 so? And typically the 2-3 so is going to be a little bit easier to call, just because the 1 so frequently leaves players' hands.
Not to mention, you want to hang on to that head.
Yeah,
You told me once, think with your head.
There was a world where he could have, tried dropping the 7 pin going headless, but that's just not as efficient as holding the 5-6-7-7 in its entirety, or just dropping the 5-6 and playing for this very strong so Dianben. Those other hands are looking amazing. We do have a lot of pairs on the right, though.
Another door pickup from Rob. He's going to toss that back, though. It does not fit with that hand whatsoever. Meanwhile, Tomas picking up another set. Now he's Tenpai on 8 Mon for Itsu.
Yep, the full straight. It's really nice when you're waiting on this 8, because it's still close to the edge of the suit where players are likely to discard it, but at the same time, you don't have to ever be Furiten. There's no wrong side to draw because it's a Kanchan wit, so guaranteed to be able to make use of it.
Ooh. Well, I was about to say, look at Elwin's hand, because that was turning into not Chanta, but Sanshoku Dojun, but that's not what's going to go here. Ikitsukan, Dora 1 for 2,900 points for Tomas.
Yeah, Itsu comes into play, and Rob had the choice, right? Do I drop the 5 or do I drop the 8? Most players drop the 8 because it should be safer. But not in this case. Not in this case, and Tomas picks up the points and dealer repeat.
Speaking of dealer repeat, we could see another one here pretty easily. 4 pairs already. And actually, they're workable. They're not like all's waiting around the edges this time. Some of them are.
Yeah, Tomas, if he draws more pairs, could play Chitoy, could play for
Oh,
Tanya.
but look at this hand across.
Yeah, that's a lot of terminals and honors.
Yeah, and I think Rob's seeing that too, judging by these early discards.
Yeah, awkwardly has 3 pairs, and 2 of them are Yakuhai. So he might not play for Kokushi, he might play for Chanta instead. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
At this point,
he's like playing Chitoy Honroto or something?
Suiso. How about just get a Yakuman? Pom.
Why not?
Here's the first one. No, he wants Kokushi. I would personally just call everything down. Like I think it's a more likely route to Yakuman.
Yeah, he's letting that north go. Now the Hatsus are coming out. Yeah, that's already... Ooh, 3 Hatsus out for that Yakuman. Here's the 4th one, so Kokushi is dead, unfortunately.
Oh my goodness, what are these draws?
But, yeah, Kokushi is dead, but this hand is not dead.
He's playing for Chitoy Honroto. With potential Honitsu as well. If he gets like a 9-pin draw.
9 Mon draw, though. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, lots of candidates here. This is insane.
Yeah. It's not easy to pivot from Kokushi. I mean, I guess when it's this early in the hand, but to pivot into this instead?
Here's the West. We've already made our choice. We're not calling anything. We're staying closed.
I think that's what you do here.
There's one singular 1 Mon in the wall. As well as 9 Mon.
Seeing a much more conventional hand coming together nicely for Eric right now.
Yeah, on the right, playing for Tanyo.
Tanyo always shuts him down. That's its reputation.
Pretty wide Ishanten for Tomas, but
Oh, but now we're Tenpai. 1 mon, 4 mon, though. Only the 4 mon deals into this, and 3 of them have already been called
and one of them's been
by this
cut.
person.
So this actually can't win.
Oh,
Each.
right. The 4 mon is cut. I didn't
Yeah.
notice that.
Oh, Tomas does find Tenpai.
Oh. 7 pin only for Ipeco. Or not quite. Nope, it is Ipeco, because 3, 4, 5, then pair of 3s, yeah.
Yeah, and Senpai for Rob on the 1 pin.
Oh!
Now, Tomas also gets the 5 and the 8 pin if you treat the 3 as an Anko. So, lots of weights here.
So Chitoy all terminals and honors. If this 1 mon comes out, we see 2 of the 1 mons in the hand of Elwyn right now.
Chitoy Honrocho. This is
Boom.
the
And there's
saddest,
the 1 mon coming out!
saddest
Here we go,
6400 ever.
Chitoy Honroto.
I love the hand though. It's gorgeous. It's
It
so
is
pretty.
gorgeous. Not even Mangan, but still. That's definitely what, I mean, definitely Rob needed that, for sure.
I
and
feel
look at
like
his hand again here. He's
winning,
getting more.
yeah, winning a hand
He's
like
got-
that is almost as rare as Yakuman. But is this Daisanga?
I mean,
No,
there's
no.
red. Call it. There we go.
Haku came
We're
out.
off to the
Haku came
races
out.
here.
Maybe Shoal Sangen.
Oh, wait. Yeah, he can't already because White Dragon. But 2 Dora already. Show Sangen with
Onitsu?
Dora Hatsu would be pretty crazy to get as well.
No, he drew the Sozu. So just playing this
Boom.
as a straightforward hand with 2 Dora. Rob's on the comeback path. Was in 4th. Still in 4th. But if you win this hand as well, we'll have made the comeback complete. And if Rob can call the Hatsu or draw the Hatsu, get Dora 3, and actually he doesn't even need the Hatsu. If he just gets any Toy upgrade, or of course the Dora, and hits Tomas directly, it will be anyone's game for first.
Yes. And Eric now got some good shapes in the
Boom.
middle for Sozu. Well, that'll be North called by Rob, and now he's Tenpai, waiting on 7 or 4. All the 4s are in the dealer's hand. All the 7s are in Elwyn and Hatsuber's hand. So there's only one of these left in the wall.
Yeah, and nothing indicates that these tiles will come out other than dealer drawing a 3-so. There's only one of those in the wall, so very unlikely.
Chi.
Tenpai for Tomas
Oh,
with an
now,
incredibly wide weight should win this.
yeah, this is the hand that wins in most situations of this kind.
This 8-so
Eric
just...
was
Sumo.
Oh, but Rob gets there
there's Sumo.
first.
Keeping up this crazy momentum. Chun Dora 2 for 5,200 points.
Found the last one in the wall.
And that's great. That is great momentum heading into all last year, South 4.
If he can keep this running, I mean, he's a dealer, so it can go indefinitely.
Yep. And indefinitely is definitely the case with this rule set.
Yeah, after winning a hand, even if Rob were to take first place, the game does not end. It does not end until you've passed your dealership. Rob might struggle a little bit with putting this hand together. 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs, some awkward Kanchan shapes. The hand on the right looks a lot easier to play.
Well, I mean, you've got that Yaku locked in. You can easily also turn this into Honitsu, though you do have 3 separate wins, so it's a little bit deceptively harder there. But you'll just start discarding them now as you get more Sozu.
2 Dora in the hand across for Tomas. Could be Tanya, could be Pinshu, could be both.
Chi.
Eric would like some of those Dora as well. But probably content with just winding this up however it goes. The scores are still rather close, we should point out.
Yeah, after
I
that
believe a
sumo.
Mangan would still get Eric into the lead if hit directly.
Yeah, Mangan sumo would do it for sure, as well as
Oh, that's
direct.
right. It would too. Yes.
Rob with an interesting choice here. Drew the 3-so and didn't discard the 2-pin. I think he's really fully committed to Chitoi as he is Ishanten. Could have dropped the 2-pin and hedged a Chanta play, but that's definitely a little bit farther away in terms of Shanten. It would require drawing like the 8-mon perfectly in order to maintain Ishanten. Oh, he even throws the Dora. That's interesting.
Pom.
It's like
And
hard.
that'll be picked up by Tomas for 3 Dora.
Pom.
Elwin's
And
trying
the hand that's
to match the speed. Oh, Khan?
might as well. Not going to call it yet.
Says
Might be waiting on Rinchan chance,
Khan?
perhaps. Oh, no, he's not getting any cons at all. Maybe he
Yeah.
just doesn't want any other points
Gee.
on the board.
There is some incentive to Khan because
Oh, there we go. That's what he was waiting on. 876 for that anyway.
yeah, that certainly works. 1,000 points isn't enough, even 1,300. Not enough for Elwin to pass Eric if he roans Rob or Tomas. So he has to be kind of careful about how he wins this hand if he wants to advance his position. Now, Elwin could also just be saying, I don't want to get last, so any win is a good win.
Last place avoidance, definitely a good idea. I haven't even looked at the leaderboards yet.
Gee.
But yeah, Elwin's trying to stay out of the demotion zone here. You need to drop pretty far to get there in this case, but I think they'll do just fine.
Elwin manages to avoid dealing in on this 4, so we do have Tempai on the left for the 4 and the 7. The 1 will not deal in.
So safe to drop that. But yeah, now Elwin 10 pi for 4 so, but it'll be 7 so that ends up in this hand. Tanyao Nomi for 1100 points.
Not enough for a positive finish by Eric, but he will survive in second place, so only lose 0.3 points. Elwin takes the negative 8.9 third, and Rob negative 20.4 fourth. It is Tomas, the victor in this match, plus 29.6. And I believe we've been watching a few of the games from Tomas in recent times. Has won, I think, every game that I've seen of him recently.
That's right. Yeah, definitely in our session too. Well, I don't know, his score sheet there is saying Tomas has won 2 games, and I believe one of those was with me last night. I could be wrong about that. I might be.
Yeah, it
That was
depends
a
on
late
which
night after.
games. It depends on which games we saw. So I know his last
Right.
4 games, he's gone first, third, first. So definitely in the upward trend as of late.
Hmm. In a moment, we'll see these scores update, or have they already? I'm not sure.
They
Oh, there they
just
go.
popped in.
All right, so that'll put Rob up in just above the positive line, 2.2, just above par. Eric with negative 21.9, just right behind him. Tomas at 53.7, and Elwin still staying out of demotion zone, negative 72.1. And we probably are seeing some game discrepancies as well, just because with that Cincinnati tournament happening right in the middle of things, a lot of people had to push their sessions around into other sessions. So that might also be an explanation for some of this.
Right. I have up on the screen that this is technically a round 3 match that got delayed. Although we are, of course, everyone, we are in session 5. And so we're very close to the season ending. I heard
Absolutely.
the gong.
We're already underway for the next match here.
Tomas the dealer this time. Pretty average high pie, some honors to chew through. I like the 9-mon cut though first. It gives you a little bit of time to draw a pair of the East, the Hatsu or the Chun. And the 9-mon doesn't provide anything to your hand that the 6-mon doesn't already give. So very nice standard first cut.
Dora's 3-pin, and Rob's got a good one waiting there in the hand. Anko of the 1-mon right now.
Across the way, Eric with the West pair can call for West only currently. Could, of course, incorporate a 3-pin Dora into his hand as well.
Elwyn's looking nice with 2 sequences already not called, but in the hand. And others could very easily follow it. You could call those norths.
Yeah,
Boom.
Eric might be dropping it soon across the way. Does get his west, and will we see the pay cut?
There it is. Do you call it?
Boom.
I think you do.
It's a
It's
close
not
one.
a lot of value,
Yeah.
but you do have Dora. You could get another Dora easily.
Yeah, and I think that's what tilted things in favor of calling for Elwyn. He says, I can wait Dora Tonki. I can get a Nobiton and wait on that too. I think your shapes were good enough that you didn't actually have to call. You could stay closed and play for Ricci with sequence shapes. And maybe
Ipeko as well.
Yeah, that'd be an option too. Like open now, we can't get Ipeko anymore.
Right.
But because there's Dora, there's potential at 39. It's totally fine to do. Ooh, can call for Dora Tonki.
Chi.
There we go. Waiting on just the 3-pin here.
2 in the
3-pin that Tomas would like to have.
Yeah, I imagine just about everyone would like to have a 3-pin right now. But there are 2 in the wall.
And Rob has one.
Rob's still 2 away from Tempai. Pretty strong shapes, though. You're just hoping to draw a 5-pin or 7-pin or 2-so or 4-so before you get the 2-pin. Anything but the 2-pin, honestly.
Boom.
All right, there's a pwn call.
Elwyn had the opportunity to switch to 6-9-so. First of all, said that's not enough value for me, and also all the 9-so have been discarded, so that's not even any better than the 3-pin is.
There's Eric giving up on the Dora there.
Chi.
I believe he's now Tenpai for 5-so, 8-so.
Tomas now Tempai for the 3-pin. Interesting little thing here. If Tomas draws the 2-so, he'll probably drop the 5-so for Sanchoku and deal in. Unless he believes it's late enough that Eric could be Tempai.
Dong.
There's the 8-so. That'll deal in across the table for West only, but that'll be 1,000 points to start this game off for Eric.
And that will send us into East 2 Rob's dealership.
It's crazy when everyone is waiting on the same tile, but that tile is also the Dora. So it's like...
And then when the dead wall has like 3 of them.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what happened. Not enough to go around whatsoever.
Wow, fast.
Anyway, East 2 begins now. The Dora is Red Dragon. This dealer's hand is looking pretty great without it, though. You have a sequence already and a Anko of the 2-so. Also a good pair here with the West, even though that's not your seat. Still like to see it. I want to look across the way at Elwyn's hand here. Pair of Souths, pair of Norths, none of which are your seat wins either. But this is looking like a Honitsu play here once you get rid of the 4 and the 7-pin.
Yeah, particularly because...
There's the South called.
It's a little annoying, actually, that you don't have any value with these calls, these pawns of the honor tiles. But
it does kind of betray that you're maybe looking at a flush here, especially when we haven't seen any Manzu come out. That's not totally out of the ordinary yet, but if this wears on, it'll become all the more apparent.
Absolutely. Although this does give him the opportunity to hold on to the East and the Hot that can give him some more value.
We got Tenpai for the dealer, though. Ra waiting now on 5-pin, 8-pin. With just one 8-pin on the board so far.
Yeah, as expected, very quick to Tenpai.
And there's the 5-pin, but that's going to fit nicely into Elwyn's hand, so I don't see that coming out.
Well, sort of. Elwyn's going to have trouble finding a Yaku without...
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot what I just said about Honitsu. Never mind. That could come out. Just
Well,
not
it,
yet.
it feels like Elwin doesn't want to fight this with this hand anymore. Says, you know what, Bakahon 2000, not enough values for me to fight against a dealer Ricci, and that makes sense.
Is it
Sumo.
Bakahon because it's stupid?
Yeah, it's just
Um,
it's the usually when you get Honitsu, you're getting a little extra values. We see that Tsumo come out from Rob, Ricci Tsumo,
and
worth
dealer
as an
repeat.
all. But yeah, you're expecting to get more from it. So when you just get the minimum value from the hand, you don't get Toy, you don't get Honitsu. Well, I mean you don't get Yakuhai, so Itsu, so Dora. It just feels like it's almost not worth going for. But there are lots of
Yes.
instances where you absolutely do want to play for it, even if it's only worth 2,000 points or 2,600.
Yeah, fair enough. East 2 begins now. The Dora is North Wind. And right now, good shape in this hand, but not a whole lot. Okay, now 2 shapes. Go ahead. Prove me wrong.
It's
What I
actually
was
Ishan
before I even
10.
said it. Yeah, that's Ishan 10 now. Yeah. Looked a
2
bit disjointed with that 3, 5, and 7, but really you just need to fill one of those in and you're golden. Or pair up on one of the other things. There's the Dora North. It's going to leave here, not really fitting in anywhere, and we've already seen one drop in the first turn.
Ooh, this is interesting.
Hmm.
Already dropped the 9 Mons, so Itsu,
Yeah,
less
Itsu's kind of
likely.
a far away dream at this point.
It's still a very good shape in general, so could have tried dropping the Sozu for it, but okay, this is a Diamond upgrade if he chooses to accept it, and we'll move in that direction. On the right, that's what, 5 pairs, Chitoi Shantan.
It's quite nice.
Across the table, only 2 pairs. That's more of a standard Ricci Pinku Ishanten. Was perfect Ishanten, beside I'm going to hold a safer tile. On the left, we've got what could be a Tanyo. Could also be Peiko in the Mill Sozu. Pre-draw 3-3 or 6-6.
Drop that Haku now and be a bit closer. I believe that's not quite 10 pi.
Yeah,
Very nice Ishan 10 though.
if Elwin had held the 5 pin for the perfect Ishanten, it would be Tenpai, but was willing to drop for a save tile and redraws the 5 pin, so it's no problem at all.
1
Very nicely done there. Now in 10 pi. Waiting on the 4 mon, 7 mon.
Ricci, Nomi, and not enough food to bump it up a level, but Sumo, Uda, all those things will add good value to this hand.
See if people, because these other hands are rather close.
1
We're going to see Tomas definitely try to push against this.
Yeah, Tomas doesn't fear the Pinzu. The 8 pin is safe. The 6 pin is Nakasuji. It's right in between the 3 and the 9 for the 3-6-9 Suji. He'll play a little bit here. He really thought
Meanwhile,
about calling Chi on that 5 pin to think about 4-5-6 Sanshoku and just said, you know what, I don't need that. I can just draw into Tenpai perhaps.
meanwhile, the dealer's hand is kind of stalling out here.
相撲
But that'll be Sumo for Elwin, Ricci, Sumo, and no Ura, but 3,300 points.
Back over 30k.
Very nicely done. Still a very close game here in East 3. The Dora is 9 so. And we see an Anko in this hand for Eric, our new dealer. But not a whole lot else here. It's going to need a little bit of work, especially with these shapes favoring the edges of the hand here. Or the edges of the spectrum, whatever you want to call it. Elwin with some good shapes. Well, as a completed sequence and a pair in the Haku right now. Could go a few different ways with this.
Notably, Tudora.
Oh, right. Yeah. Of
That
course.
means Elwyn are very incentivized to open the hand. And if he can also incorporate Chanta as well, could turn that into a Mangan without even calling the third Dora.
Right. There we go. Across the way, I'm seeing a similar situation to the dealer's hand in which the shapes are all kind of around the edge. But you've got pairs. 3 of them.
Where there's pairs, there's a chance. Or a cheat toy.
Of course. Still kind of slim chance right now, though.
Really wants it to be a normal hand, but the 8 pin sort of indicates that he's decided at the end of row 1 that this isn't going to complete in a normal fashion. So I'm going to hold the green dragon, the red dragon, and aim for Chitoy. Left Tanya for Rob. Very straightforward hand there. Actually,
looks very nice.
Could find 5, 6, 7 Sanchoku if he pairs up something like the 4 pin or the 8 pin and plays
That
for
6-mon, that 6-mon goes into Eric's hand here.
8, so I should say. Ooh,
1
what a lovely fill.
That'll be Ricci for Eric. Very lovely indeed. 2-pin, 5-pin are the weights here. And there's a 2-pin getting picked up. Good read by Elwyn, not dropping that. Probably going to fold against this hand now.
Crazy wide Ishanten for Rob.
Think Rob pushes this?
Yes. No question in my mind. That's tough
1
Yep, there we go. Definitely a chase
4
reach
pin
here.
4 pin Ricci is the value Ricci.
3-pin and 6-pin are the weights for Rob here.
3. Oh, it's
And he's going to have to drop the 5 into Eric for Ricci. Tanyao Noura for 5,900 points with the 6.
Because the 1 pin was cut, I would have preferred it for Rob Ricci with the 4 pin and maintained the 5, 6, 7 pin in hand. That way, if he did win with a 7 so instead of the 4 so, he would also get Sanchoku as well.
That's right.
Typically, you drop the 7 pin because it's safer, but with the 1 pin discarded, the 4 is not so bad. It's actually relatively safe. As safe as the 7 pin is.
I can see that for sure. East 3 continues now with 1 Honba. The door is 9 Mon, and we see one of those in the dealer's hand right now. But the rest of this hand is not looking so great. It's going to take some work here for sure. Especially when right on the right here, already an Anko, oh, not an Anko, but well, you have a shape in the Manzu already. And 8 and 9s, so Sanchoku here as well. Oh, well, maybe not.
Yeah,
Going for a flush instead.
I think, yeah, that 6-mon draw convinced him. This is a lot easier to complete a flush than it is get the 7 so, 7 pin, and a pair of 8,
2
or at least 1 8 mon. So I think Ellen will start to open up if any mons who come out from Eric's hand is in the dealer spot.
So Moss opening up his hand here. Looking like he's going for, well, I was going to say Itsu, but 3, 4, 5 kind of crosses that overlap there. Probably wishing he would have waited a bit longer to get that 6 instead.
Yeah, Tomas aiming for the 3, 4, 5 Sanchoku because it's confirmed with the current shapes.
Oh,
Might be able to get Tanyo as well if he draws a Sanzo here. Or...
that makes sense.
But yeah, needs the 4 mon. On
Even
the left.
after a Sanshoku crazy night like tonight, I still miss it sometimes.
Yeah, I think I think about Sanchoku too much, so
I don't think about it enough. I need to think more 3-dimensionally.
you know, this season is the season that I've learned that Sanako is a Yaku. Going vertically in the hands.
1
Oh yeah, that too. We see Elwyn calling a bit closer to the Honitsu here. Shinitsu, really, is just as much on the table.
Ooh, what a great chi that is.
Ooh, another call here. Now you've got pairs of 6, 7, and 9. I think you call one of these as a pawn, drop your south, and get the other one.
Yeah, if the
Keep in
5
mind
or...
the 9s are
7
Dora as well.
Right, if the 5 or 8 comes out, I think he'll take it, but
Now we
any
got
call in tempi will be a good call.
Yeah, but now we got 10 pi for Rob. He's waiting on the 8 mon 6 so. 8 mon is the door indicator. 6 so is already discarded. Another one in the wall as well. And yes, as Red Zone pointed out in the chat, 5-8 chi is also possible. So it's maybe...
I've got a big question mark on Eric's 9-mon here. I think his plan here is to Tonki on it in the future. Uh-oh. Does Rob switch the weight?
Oh,
He does, and that 8 cannot be called.
Yeah. He's waiting on the 6 mon, 9 mon now. I see why you do it. You're looking for Dora.
This is some heads up play by Eric as dealer. Doesn't like any of these mon cuts against the Chinitsu on his right, so he's just bowing out of this hand. One came out, so now he has an opportunity to fight, and redrew the 6 pin back, so can still make a play for this hand. Thinking about calling this for K10, but lets it pass. The West is visible to him 3 times, so it probably doesn't deal in, but it could be a Hellweight Tonki. You never know with these things.
We got 10 pi for our Chinitsu hand over here with Elwin, waiting on 5 or 8 mon.
And there still is an 8 mon in the wall.
相撲
But it'll be the 6 mon that goes into Rob's hand for Haku Nomi, 1,400 points, and shutting down some pretty big hands.
Yeah, it may not seem like it was worth it, only winning 1,000 points, but when you consider what everyone else was putting together on the table, you stopped a lot of things from going wrong.
That's when you do a big phew when you're checking out the logs later.
Right, and you probably suspect that was a pretty big sumo, given that Elwin looks strongly like a Chinitsu in the Dora suit, because he cut South pair, which is your Yakuhai. Typically, you don't cut your own Yakuhai pair when you're going for Honitsu.
That's right. That moves us into East 4, with Elwin just below the 30,000 point line. This hand's got some pairs, but not a whole lot else. Dora is north, which they discarded right away. And Tomas here on the right has, well, also a couple of pairs. Well, now 3 pairs. Not a whole lot else, though.
Rob's looking like he's doing a little bit better cross the way, but still, too many pairs in that hand. Does tend to slow it down a little bit. None of these hands look very good, even on the left. That can't even call the south. We're not in the south round yet. It's just slow hands all around the table.
Yeah. Of course, slow hands mean a lot of potential acceptance.
Yeah, you really get to craft your hand instead of having the hand play itself.
Always a good skill to have.
We did see the Dora come out early from Elwin. Does not want to risk allowing anyone to have a triplet of that.
Yeah, the scores are still very close here. You don't want to have somebody else pop off, especially when you start and see this isn't going to pop off. But then again, now you got 2 Onkos in this hand.
Yeah, this is coming together a little bit. I was just wondering what you would do if you drew the 2 pin.
Well, let's see what Elwin does here. Gonna hang on to it.
Gives up on the 1-2-3 Sanshoku.
Right. Sanshoku Ipeko even. Oh, there's the other one. Okay. What do you know? All right.
Can we get a third?
Do you get a third and do Sanpeiko?
So
wait, that wouldn't be... It would be...
Sananko at that point.
Well, yeah, it would be Sananko, but, like... triple. I'm trying to figure out what triple of this pure sequences would be. Pure triple sequence would be.
So I guess if you have a pair and then all four tiles, all four 1 pins, 2 pins, and 3 pins, technically that's Gianpeko.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
The funniest
be?
Gianpeko. I wonder if
Yeah.
anyone's won that before, because it looks like 4 cons in your hand, which you can't win with, but it's not. It's just 2 double sequences
1、
right on top of each other. Now I really want a screenshot of someone winning with that hand.
If you have one, please send it to us. On this, I guess you can DM this channel.
Yes,
This channel gets DMs, I think, yeah.
I suspect links are not allowed in chat, but...
Right. Meanwhile, we got Tenpai for Eric here. Waiting on the 8-mon. 2 already in the hand across. 2 in the wall.
And of course, there's no Yaku here just yet, so even if the 8-mon were to come out, it wouldn't deal into anything. But it's nice to be Tenpai when we're getting this close to the end of the game.
Indeed.
Of course, 6-pin comes out. We can see a pull and then wait on the 4-7-mon instead. That would give us a Yaku.
Not sure if the website comes out of that chatbot or not. Oh, we got Tenpai for Elwin now.
Yes, Sumo would be Sun Uncle.
1、
Richie from Tomas, though. Richie, Tanyao, Sanchoku, waiting on the 6-0. There's a 6-0. But Eric is Tenpai. He'll drop the 3 instead. That doesn't actually deal in. There's no Yaku.
Pon.
He'll call Pon instead and hold the Tenpai. That gives the
Sumo.
6-0 to Tomas, though.
Oh,
The
no!
last 6-0.
Oh, you hate to see it, but that'll be Richie, Sumo, Sanshoku with Tanyao as well for a Mangan.
And if you're Tomas, I mean, you're loving it. That puts you in first place.
And I'm sorry it won't post the website for you there, Jowser, but it is AmericanRichi.org. You will see it come by in the ticker here in just a little bit. But South 1 is now, as we head into the half. 6-mon is the Dora now. A lot of honors in this hand right now for the dealer.
And these early cuts, a clear indication that Tomas wants Honitsu. East, Red Dragon, and Honitsu will be a Mangan. 12,000 points.
We should let Nightbot allow our own website.
Wouldn't you think so?
Yeah. I've not touched Nightbot much yet myself, though, even though I probably will in the future for my channel.
Unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with it either. Rob on the right, though. The tune pair is Mochi Mochi with Tomas, so that will slow both players down. And across the way, Eric could try for an Itsu in the Pinzu. Might just take the Zishan.
But you have that good shape, good strong Manzu shape around the Dora.
Yeah, this 3-mon cut strongly suggests that Eric wants... Okay, maybe it means he doesn't want this Furiten, because he's already discarded the 1 mon and would have a 1-4-7 shape. I don't think you need to fear the Furiten in this instance, but maybe that combined with the fact that he might have Itsu helped make that decision a little easier for him.
All right, no one's got a Dora as well with a inside of a good shape.
It also is just Ishantan. Yes. With a chance of 5, 6, 7 Sanchoku. So we could see Elwin returning the favor.
And dealer picking up a good shape with the Sozu. You'd want to find... At this point, you'd want to find a triplet to keep your pair. You just wait on the other ones as a Shanpon wait. But this will be Tenpai for Elwin here, waiting on the 5-pin, 8-pin. And from our point of view, the Red Dragon would have been the better discard here, but... Or not. I mean, that would also help out. Never mind. Hand over. Riji Apatsu Sumo, Dora 1,
Ooh.
2 Uradora. That makes this a Hanuman for Elwin. 13,000 points with the sticks.
Wow, hit the pots, hit the Ura, adding 3 Han to the hand, turning that into a Hanuman. That is maximum bonuses in that instance. And Elwin will
Very.
reclaim the lead.
Very nicely done there. Elwin moving into 37,600 points. It's going to put Tomas right back at the starting line. And as we head into South 2, Dora is 5 pin. We see one in this hand here for our dealer, along with a good shape. Not a bad starting hand at all. Eric with some good shapes happening there on the right. Across we see a good strong shape in Sozu. And on the left, Tomas, this is looking very nicely put together. We have a strong shape in Sozu as well, but also a good shape in Pinzu to back that up.
Ishanten for Tomas.
Meanwhile,
Ishanten.
Rob making some great progress on this hand.
Yeah, Rob Ishanten. Elwin Ishanten. Eric is still 2 away. But has a callable hand as well, and 2 Dora.
That's right.
1
And now Ricci for Elwin, waiting on 1 so, 4 so.
Normally a very strong weight. There are 3 tiles in the
Those
row.
three of those tiles are in Hatsuber's hand for Tomas's hand. We see another 4 in the dealer's hand and another 4 in Eric's hand.
1
But now that'll be dealer reach now. Waiting on North and 5 pin.
Yeah, Ricci, Dora 2. Oh, and there's the North. That's a safe-looking
there it
tile.
goes. Dealing into the dealer.
Yes.
Ricci, Ipatsu, Dora 2. No Ura this time. That'll be 14,000 points for this dealer, Mangan.
Yeah, surprise. If you looked at the discards from dealer.
And now, I believe, I'm not the best at reading upside down, but that's a very close heat now for first and second place.
Right? All those terminal and honor discards. Really surprising that Rob was waiting on the North there. Especially once cut North.
That's right. Now it's South 2. The Dora is 6 pin. Take a look at this dealer hand, looking great. Ipeco shape with 2 of those Dora in tow. Picking up another pair there with the 6 Mon.
On the right, Eric. Kind of 1, 2, 3 Sandraku looking hand. And if he draws 9 pin, he'll have a decision. Do we go for Chanta / Junchan, or do we keep the Dora? And across, Elwin's got the Haku pair.
And for Eric, that's a tough hand for Eric, especially 5 turns in. Still just, if all odds was a Yaku, he'd be right on track for it. Especially with that 1 pin pickup.
Finally on the left, Tomas. 6 pin is acceptable to hand, but after the first row at the hands, it's still at this state. Seems like he's probably a little bit behind in this one.
Right, it's a rather difficult scenario for this, especially being this deep in last. You just took a pretty big hit. I guess it's not super deep from the comebacks we've been seeing tonight.
Oh, absolutely not. We've seen some crazy stuff. We did see the call from Eric. Ishata now needs a 7 pin and a 3 Mon.
And Elwin, also Ishanten here.
What a fill from Rob. 9 Mon, 6 Mon seems to be the normal play pattern here, and that's exactly what he'll do. Goes with the 9 Mon first, thinking if I draw 7 Mon, I could even cut 5 so, 6 so, and go for Dion Peiko.
And now you've got 5 Mon. And that kind of complicates things a little bit.
You have to make a choice as to which sequence to cut. Either the the Mon's, diamond shape or the So diamond shape.
And, and there's the 8 again.
Yeah, goes with the Mon, thinking I can see the 4-7 coming out from everyone, so I think they'll drop it
Eat.
again.
This will be Ricci for Elwyn across the table. White Dragon for So is the weight here.
Oh, and Eric's been holding this Haku as a safe tile, but it's not so safe now.
Eat.
Oh, and now we got Ricci from Dealer. That Ipeco locked in, waiting on 4 So, 7 So now.
This is insane. Ricci, Tanya, Pinfu, Ipeco, Dora 2 is already Hanuman.
And 7 pin would be a double roan. Sorry, 4 pin would be a double roan in this case.
Yeah, the 4 So is one in the wall. Oh,
There's the
Haku.
White Dragon.
Tomas got killed by an honor before. I don't think he's going to get killed again.
There we go. Definitely trigger shy there.
Yeah. Good hold. Good hold. There's that 4 So.
Here's a 4.
And if Tomas holds that, there will be no double roll.
There we go. Hang on tight.
5 pin and 7 pin can both come out safely, so I think Tomas is safe. Can Elwyn find the winner on the last draw? No, because I think at that point, all the tiles are out.
Pretty much, yeah. That's 2 big hands getting shut down at the end there. 1,500 points apiece for Elwyn and Rob. Satu continues with 8 So being the Dora. And after that strong display of defense from sorry, I'm blanking on names. Eric, yeah, that was a great great display of events from both Tomas and Eric, indeed. We see great hand here for our Dealer. 2, 3, 4. Maybe Sunshoku, that's coming out. That you're already 2/3 of the way there, for sure.
Yeah.
But now you're dropping the 2 pin, so maybe not.
It is Ishantan with 2 Mon, 5 Mon, and 8 So acceptance for Tempai as well as, of course, the 7 pin. Oh, but this 7 fixes the door into the hand, and you have such a wide Ishantan now. It's incredible.
Very nice.
On the right, Eric working towards Pinfu. It doesn't matter. There's a Ricci. Ooh, is this weight very good? It's just a 2-5 Mon if you cut the 6 pin. I say just. That's typically a pretty good weight. So a little unfortunate that 2 Mon came out already.
And you're holding the other 2, though the last 2 is a little bit loose in this hand for Eric. 5 Mon, though, that's pretty much open season.
Yeah.
Except also in Eric's hand.
It's a little tricky to defend here, but Eric does have Nakatsuchi 5 pin. He has another one. He has Genbutsu 6 pin. Can try to get out of here, but the draws are incentivizing him to push. It's a great fill if you're trying to complete your hand. If he pushes, he might start with the 2 Mon.
Dong.
He's going to drop the 2 Mon there. To deal in for Ricci, Pinfu, Tanya, Dora 1. No Ura, but that's still a plenty strong Dealer's Mangan. Taking all the sticks from the last hand, too.
And now Rob solidifying an incredible advantage here in South 2. 51,000 points. And the race for 3rd and 4th is quite tight now between Tomas and Eric.
You could pass me tonight.
Yeah, that is...
I've kind of liked having my own little island here away from the promotion zone and the middle part of the field.
Yeah, Rob's hopping land masses. Gonna make his way over to your island.
That's okay. I like company. But as far as Rob's hand now, I mean, this is going to help him with that pursuit, indeed. Good sequences right now, 4, 5, 6. You seeing that also trying to come together for Sozu. No sign of Manzu at all in this hand, though. Doesn't want to happen. 2 Mon is the Dora, though, and look at that hand across the way for Elwyn. Anko of those right now, and some great shapes around it. This could be quite a contender for this game here.
Yeah, 3 Dora with that Anko, it means that Elwyn will fight very hard for this hand. And Rob's Ishan 10 now, he could slam a Ricci at any moment. Even then, even though Elwyn saw him win 12,000 points with his last Ricci, he still might fight because he has so much value.
Ooh, good pickup for Elwin here. That hand gets one step closer.
Yeah, it doesn't slam the Ricci just yet. Doesn't really like this 2-pin weight.
Yeah, you've got time. Feel it out a little bit more.
And here's the raw
Eat.
Ricci.
Here we go. He's waiting on the 3-so, 6-so. 2 3-sos in Eric's hand along
Gee.
with a 6.
Okay.
But now Noomba making a call, waiting on the 4-pin now.
No
Eat.
Yaku,
Dora
so
in this yet.
really thinking that
So Yaku, I mean.
thinking that he can. Oh, Con for Rinshot chance. No, let's it go.
That'd be a Yaku.
Yeah, that's a Yaku. It's a risky one against 2 Riches, including a dealer reach. So it makes sense to not make that play, but certainly would have been entertaining.
So is the play here to just try to push to Tanyao?
Yeah, that will be Elwin's attempt. I was thinking he might just pass that and slam a Ricci of his own, but going for the Tanya route. 9 Mon.
It just seems kind of difficult, and I mean, I'd play it safe for the integrity of the hand, but it looks like it's going to work out, actually.
Yeah, this is okay. Now Ishan 10, this 3 would deal in though.
And you'd have to get rid of it. Good read, though.
Somehow Elwin's been able to dodge here. If the 4-pin comes down the right, he can call for Tenpai and wait on the 3-so.
We missed Tenpai from Tomas
Boom.
here. Sorry, did he reach? Yeah, he did reach.
Yeah, he
so
did.
he's dropping that 3-so.
Oh, but the
For
Ura,
Richi Pinfu with an Ura, 8,700 points. It's not a Mangan, but it sure feels like one.
yeah, Rob's taking turns grabbing points from everyone at this point.
Yeah, Rob is just really tilting this table in his favor. Rob's definitely in the zone. He's on fire, as we'd say. We'd say that last hand, because now he's on 4 dealer repeats here. 4 Honba in the middle. The Dora is 4-so, and he's got it. Though I think this hand might just be the end of this dealer run here. It's looking quite difficult.
Yeah, more Diancon shapes than Dian Men, which means that could be a worse final weight, and certainly too many terminal tiles to open up very easily here. So you're right, looks like it's on the slower end. On the right, Eric, with maybe slightly better chance of being able to call, and also just has more diamond shapes. So small ping-fu advantage there. Across the way, Elwin can actually is Ishanta technically, but has a Kanchan in the lower Pinzu and Diakon in the Sozu that would lead to an awkward weight. The nice thing is the So shape Diakon is surrounding the Dora, so no matter which way it gets filled, you will be able to use the Dora in there. And this 8-pin draw is a great improvement.
Indeed.
And on the left, Tomas with an Ipeco chance in the Pinzu, and Dora held in hand. It will be interesting to see if you can shift this to Tanyao with something like a 6-mon draw, and then locking in the 2-so the pair as the pair and cutting 1-mon, 1-mon.
Yeah, it would be a good shot for him to pull into third. That's a good fill.
So notably, Elwin, this is the second time we've seen it. Draws Tenpai, does not take the Ricci. It looks like, in general, Elwin is not in favor of taking a bad weight Ricci. This is a better weight.
Ooh. That it would be.
But doesn't recognize it, perhaps. If you Ricci with a 2-so there, you're waiting on 4-so and 5-so, where winning with a 4-so is a second Dora. So I quite like taking that Ricci.
It's a complicated weight, but it's a good one.
Yeah, perhaps Elwin, rather than not recognizing it, instead is a member of the Sanzu cult and prefers this weight.
Oh, yes, of course. Sanzo cult. Speaking of Sanzo, that is a dangerous tile right now. Because it's, Elwin's weight.
I wonder if Elwin is going to Karagiri Ricci if he gets the chance.
Eat.
Oh, not Katagiri, but it is a Ricci. Now waiting
Furiten.
on 6-0, 3-so. It is Furiten. You're right.
Importantly, though, it can still win on the Sanzo.
If drawn.
If drawn. There is one tile in the wall to draw, so unlikely, but we'll see if
At
Elwyn's
this,
faith is rewarded.
at this stage, you could be trying to get everyone else to kind of back off, especially with a little bit of a surplus, a good cushion above 30k there.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's having trouble fighting, so
And the 3-so comes out. It doesn't deal in.
Rob doesn't quite get there on his last draw, so it will be Kyoku. No players Tempai except for Elwyn.
So 3,000 points to Elwyn. Rob will drop the dealer streak here, probably in the best way you possibly can.
Only
He's
losing.
staying at 58,200 points, still like 200, almost 200,000. No, not that much. Almost 20,000 past the second place here.
Right. If the game were to end right now, Rob is looking at a plus 43.2. So you can do the math in the standings to see if that would overtake you. In the meantime,
Well, I'm at 43.4, so he
So-
would be just above me.
all right. As dealer, Eric drawing in the south pair can open up and attempt a slightly speedier hand than the shapes currently appear. The 7-so cut is very interesting. That is a Dora shape discarded immediately, and I wonder if this is a Mon Honitsu?
홈,
Be
Well,
quite
here's Rob possibly making a step into a Sozu Honitsu, calling the White Dragons.
Yeah, another Sotal drawn. Technically, Ishanten right now, but if he's playing for Honitsu, would need to pick up 2 tiles instead of just 1. I think Rob might be content to just take any Tempai here. Not necessarily greed for all of the value.
See the dealer having a bit of a hard time with this hand. I mean, you are making progress. You do have a shape. But now you're just getting honors, and that's not really what you need at this stage. Unless you get a south, that'd be nice.
And the south currently being held by Elwyn, so because that's double south, it might be a while before he thinks about dropping it. Oh,
Oh, here we go. Honitsu locked in
yep, it's going to
with
be
2 Dora.
It's going to be super wide Ishanten. You can call this
7,
7. So
Nice call
is
there.
Dora, so he probably doesn't want to drop that. What's your alternate play? Like 7 so is a great weight. Goes with the 4-7 instead.
Waiting on another Dora. Really trying to get greedy.
I mean, if
He's
he
aiming for the promotion tonight.
if he wins with the final Dora, it will be Yakuhai Honitsu Dora 3 for Hanuman. I don't think I'm that optimistic. I think I'm fine taking my Mangan with the widest weight, but
Oh, yeah, I would do that.
7,
that also might mean I'm missing out on promotion, right? If you have an opportunity for points, it can be worthwhile to aim for the maximum.
Yeah, but you do still have a whole other
Gee.
session after this, and we're only halfway through this one. So I would accept jumping 3 spots as good progress.
Yeah. We do see the dealer calling twice Tempai Atosuke for the south. Can only win on the south here.
And the south was... No, that wasn't just picked up, or was it?
It's been held by Elwyn for a while, but I think he's afraid
Oh,
enough
that's right, yeah.
of the So Honitsu that he doesn't really want to drop it. Might be more concerned that it would deal into Rob than that it deals into the dealer.
Adjusting his weight, so it's an open
Sumo.
Ipeko now. Oh, but there's the sumo for Honitsu, picking up that last Dora. 1, 2, 3 for Haneman, 14,500 points.
That's what I'm saying. You and I, we'd be 8,000 points richer. But Rob's 12,000.
Yep, there you go. Now he's sitting at 72,700 points. He didn't get a Yakuman, but it sure feels like he did.
Yeah, has been on an absolute tear in these past few hands. And Elwyn has done well to be over 30,000 points.
And here's the good news. While we saw in our last game, I'm already blanking on the name, but that East 1 Yakuman and having to hold that whole thing to the end, it's all last now, and he's looking at carrying 72,000 points to the bank that's just next door.
Yeah, that's right. Kayla won 48,000 points in East 1 and had to, got that slightly drained with Sumos as time passed on. But this is 72,000 points at the very end. And in the meantime, look at the left.
Each.
Eric, Richi, Chitoi, Honitsu, Door 2.
Wow. Yeah, and I was about to say, well, look at this dealer hand here and how close it is, but then you got this.
And Eric
That's definitely the hand he needs right now. I mean, I'm not sure if he hits it directly off of, say, Noomba, maybe that kind of turns the tables a little bit, but...
Yeah, unfortunately, only one Dora for this hand.
Only one. You could get another.
Well,
you mean only one Dora left in the
sorry,
wall? Okay.
It means it's very difficult to win because no one really wants to drop the Dora. But if it does win, it is a Baimon.
Yeah, and well, we've seen crazy sumos happen literally just seconds ago.
If he sumos and hits Ura, it would be a San Baimon. We're seeing some fighting out of these hands, though. They do not realize how expensive this is. This is Tempai for Elwyn if he wants it. On the 5-so.
Right, 5-so, 1 pin is the weight now for Tama. Well, is it? No, it's not.
For
Someone
dealer,
else is waiting on that.
dealer's got the 5-so.
It's for dealer. What? Wait. Sorry, I'm losing you in my ear again.
Nope. Let's see if this helps. Maybe, maybe not.
I heard that.
Okay. Yeah, Tomas, also Ishanten, or was Ishanten, now might be playing for Chito instead.
Yeah,
because
these hands are coming together nicely.
It's getting late.
There's still just 1 pin left in the wall. 20 tiles to go.
Elwyn's fighting
You're
for
trying to
this.
shoot at the smallest target, but with the biggest reward.
It's kind of odd that, the alternate candidate for the weight was the Hatsu, and I was going to say none were out, and then immediately two show up.
Right. I mean, that could always happen.
Oh, there's the one. Oh,
there it is, and he drops it!
So, Baimon for...
Richi, Chitoi, Honitsu, Dora 2, with Ura Dora 2!
Yeah, it wasn't Tsumo, so still Baimon. What a hand.
What a way to end it. It's a direct hit off the leader. Gonna spoil his payday just a little bit, though. It'll be Rob finishing off with a big win tonight, regardless. 56,700 with 41.7. That's gonna just be right above me, I think. There we go. Boom. 0.5 points ahead. We'll see about that. Noomba with 35.9, finishing with 10 points added. And Eric losing 11 points. And that leaves Tomas losing 40 points of his own there.
Yeah, Eric was looking to be losing a few more points, actually saved 16. So great hand. We've seen some glorious hands. We saw the Chitoi Honroto, this time Chitoi Honitsu. We've seen multiple Chitois win, and still more to come. They are playing even more games.
Looks like I see some of them in the chat right now. Yeah, great game, y'all, for sure.
Well played, very entertaining.
Yeah.
We've got
as we see the leaderboard updated now, It was 43. Yeah, 43.9 is the new score for Rob. Knocking on the door promotion, but so am I. So be aware.
Yeah, we'll be
Eric
keeping a
with
close eye.
yeah, Eric showing just how big of a gulf there is between 11th and 12th with negative 33, but still very much in this. I mean, if you win more big hands like that, as we've been seeing, you can cross any gap you want. Elwin sitting at 61.2 and 15th, and Tomas falling into the demotion zone there, but just barely. It's pretty close between 17th, 18th, and 19th right now, and possibly 20th, but I don't think we see that on screen just yet. I think we're looking at 23 there for Jacob. The number's a bit small on my end.
Yeah, I've got the full screen up now, and it's 20
Oh,
for
yeah, there we go.
Jacob, and yeah, pretty close
Yeah.
at that cut line there.
Oh, yeah, it's anybody's game to get out of this for sure. I mean, it's gonna be a long fight, but anybody could get it at this point.
Right. We have a game coming up in about 2 minutes. I'm seeing A2 just started. It
Right.
is. I'm gonna wait a second for the game to load up here as we change some names. Christian, Ada, Harrison, and Steven. And let's see if we can change the standings to see where everyone lies.
We don't want them to lie. We want them to tell the truth.
Okay, we'll see where everyone truthfully sits in the leaderboard.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I apologize.
Well, we can get one or two though. That's okay.
Yes,
Right.
it's A2 with my Oklahoma compatriot Riley B sitting just above demotion zone. He'll fight past it. I have faith in him.
It's really close to demotion at A2 right now. I mean, so many players right around that mark. A couple of the players at this table, actually, Christian, Harrison, and Ada, all in the demotion zone, but with a chance to escape.
Meanwhile, Stevens got a pretty good shot at getting into the promotion zone. Going into a very competitive A1 division. This is another round 3 matchup? Oh, that part hasn't been updated yet. It's all good.
Yeah, I've got word that we might want to check another game.
Oh, really? We get word from the booth. That usually means interesting things happening.
Oh, we may have just missed it.
That's what log review is for.
Okay, if we missed it, we'll come back to it.
Man, if that's what I think it is, 3 in one night in this economy.
We did. We'll have to check this later.
T.
But
Oh my
apparently,
goodness.
Matthias, the reason that he is at 51,000 points currently is because he won a Sanbaimon.
Wow, good for him. I mean, Yakumon's great and all, but Sanbaimon is where you gotta like craft it yourself.
Yeah, as dealer, 24,000 points.
Very, very nice. I can't see that right now. If
Oh,
that's
I'm
what
realizing the screen was
talking
not
about.
showing up, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the game. Let's get the game in.
Well, now I'm seeing
Yeah,
the start of this one. Oh, is this
this
the
is the
log?
A2 series. Yep. I jumped into the B1 game. I forgot to actually switch screens, so but the hand had already ended, unfortunately. All right, but here we've got
Okay.
Christian, our first dealer, Ada on the right, Harrison across the table, and Steven on our left.
And we see Christian immediately calling Ricci. Well, I guess it's been 6 turns, but this is quite a good wait. Well, actually, no, it's just on the 6.
We get
Or is it?
6-9, yeah.
It's 6 and 9. Okay.
That is a good way.
That's still nice. There's the 6 Mon picked up by Suizo Harrison. Another familiar name for these commentary streams.
Absolutely. Ada will drop out the
Don't.
9. And just reaching pin through currently. Oh, never
But
mind.
to Ura, never mind. This is Mangan Monday, apparently.
Yeah, Mangan, Haneman, Baimon, Sanbaimon, Yakuman. We've seen every hand.
Every type of Mangan you can possibly have. Any blend of it, any flavor.
Every single
It's all here
limit hand.
on American Richu. And now we have another nice 420, 42,000, I should say,
Boom.
score for Christian here.
It's
As we continue with East 1, the Dora is White Dragon. And good shape so far. We see 2 sequences ready to go with some flexibility. And a pair picked up there. We did see Sir Mr. Guy, who is Steven, already called the Hatsu here, with good shapes to go along with that as well. This is a hand you're going to call and finish quickly with.
Oh my, Tempai already on the
Ooh.
dragon. It feels like it's gonna come out. Harrison's
Senpai
been
for
holding it
Steven.
for as long as he can, but
And Roan as the White Dragon comes out for Hatsu Dora 2, giving him 4,200 points. Now we're back with another dragon in East 2, being the Dora. This time it is the Red Dragon.
ooh,
A fairly decent opening for Ada here. See a shape of the 789 for Sozu and a pair of the Norths. Really, this could even turn Honitsu if it gets really ambitious. Honitsu Chanta, even.
yeah, Ada, a
Crazy.
player who does like to open up, does like to aim for the greedy hand. And so while Chanta and maybe 123 Sanchoku seemed like a likely plan,
That's right.
Ada's going to commit all the way with Honitsu.
Right, and Ada is going to fight for every point that they possibly can.
Eat.
Ooh,
But we've got Ricci across the way now for Steven.
Ricci, Tanyao, 2 early Richis. 2 early Tempais, I should say. And Ada will fight.
Waiting for the 4-pin here. And now Ada picking up the Anko of Souths. It's not Yakuhai, but it'll help in this pursuit.
Ishantan. Oh, Dora.
Yeah, hang on to that for a little bit.
Will plan to Dora Tonki. The problem is both Christian and Harrison have drawn the Dora and can never drop it against this Ricci. So Ada will probably need to draw the Sotile first. Or another Dora. That would also work. The final Chun.
And what do you call it when everyone's just standing off on one copy of the tile? Is it just mochi and not mochi mochi?
That's honestly that would be an interesting interesting if true. It makes logical sense, so I guess I'm on board with that naming convention. Oh my, Christian might deal in now.
Ooh.
If he starts to run
Drop
out of
one of
safe
those
tiles,
might tap into that 4.
because he's got so many of these 4s, right? And he could see all of the 2s, 3 of the 3s, and 3 of the 5s. So if the last 5 comes out, which it's not going to because Steven's holding it, Steven has the last possible 2 tiles that the 4 could deal into. And
There's the 4 right here.
yeah,
Good read. Hang on to that.
Has safe tiles. 2 mods, safe. 1 pin looks relatively safe.
Oh, it just gets closer and closer. Maybe he's wise to that 4-pin being dangerous here.
Yeah, anyone could be dealing it out soon.
It's tense.
Fortunately, they have Ada and Steven both clearing tiles. So 8-pin now safe. And in the end, Ryukyoku, Ada could not find the proper so tile for Tenpai, unfortunately. That means dealership will pass.
That was quite the standoff there. 3,000 points going to Steven.
And Christian and Harrison both feeling vindicated in their keep of the 4-pin.
Oh, absolutely. And they'll go back in the log and find that they were sitting mochi on the chun. We're going to run with this now.
All right.
Anyway, East 3. And quite an East opportunity for our dealer here, with East being Dora. Sadly, none of that in this hand yet, though across the way we have 2 Easts already, and some decent shapes. Well, a decent shape backing it up. Seeing more pairs seeming to file in alongside it. Also pairs for Ada here.
Yeah, I can't decide if I like Christian's hand better or Harrison's hand. Christian, of course, with the 2 Dora, can easily call for Mangan if anyone dares to drop it. Harrison with a potential very sneaky weight if he fills the sequences. Oh, East.
Ooh. Tricky tile. I'd almost just drop it now and be done with it before it really gets dangerous.
Yeah, I think just looking at the statistics, Steven has a 7.4% deal-in rate, which is extremely low. It's very strong. And I suspect that's because Steven plays with a bit of caution. And a cautious player will be less inclined to drop this East, because why give someone a Mangan if you don't have to?
Right.
He can try to construct a hand that will wait on the East himself.
Tonki East wait, it could happen.
Right. I think at the point of drawing it, it was the end of, or actually into row 2 already, so you kind of think someone's got a pair already. But I think the plan of dropping it as early as possible is very viable in the first few discards. In the East round, of course, a lot more scary to drop that.
Right. Especially with it being Dora, of course.
Oh, but
he's gonna drop it, though.
Interesting. Says
so that's 4 Han for Christian now, visible on the table.
That's the last thing Harrison wanted to see. He instantly cuts 1 mon, 1 mon. That's Tenpai for Steven. We'll just slam a Richi and say, I see your Mangan, but I think I can do better than you. I think
Not
I can
at
win.
all intimidated by it. He made that happen. Now he's gonna go for it anyway.
Yeah, some players, it feels like they sort of take responsibility for allowing a dealer or allowing a Dora call by fighting against it.
And here we go with another Richi for Ada. 7 mon, 1 pin. If it's sumo, it's Sananko.
Yes, and there are tiles in the wall. Oh, well, there's a 1 pin. Still 7 mon.
Sumo.
It'll be sumo for this player, getting
Steven.
3 Han. Steven, yes, sorry.
You're good.
It covers it up and I just blanked.
Yeah, Steven, the 3 Han sumo, very strong, and up to 42,000 points, reclaiming first place, and now with Dora 2.
Yes, Dora 2 in a hand that does look definitely fascinating. Had to think about counting up the honors here to see, is it Kokoshi worth it? Probably deciding not to. Your East and your dealer, you have a great lead, but you'd like to advance that a little bit more, so definitely the right call here. You got plenty of points without going for the big one here.
This game is a perfect demonstration of why I dislike when honor tiles are Dora. Because now Harrison has to play the game of, do I drop this tune or not? And once again, he's probably going to hold it for as long as he can before it becomes inefficient to keep and then drop it. And then Steven will call it and Harrison will feel sad. And everyone at the table will feel sad except for Steven.
Who's already quite happy.
Quite happy indeed. And now even has a chance at 1-2-3 Sanchoku.
That's Ada picking up the last tune here.
And you can
Probably
see
thinking the same thing.
Harrison is playing this hand in such a way that he can wait Shuntanki.
Then it really would be Mochi.
Wait. If two players have one, but the other player has two, what is that?
Mochi. Momochi? I know where it's coming from because, like, mo means also in depending on the context in a sentence.
Momochi.
At least I think that's where it's coming from.
That's quite amusing to think about.
I'm studying Japanese right now. Sadly,
Pom.
Oh, there goes the bread. Oh, there it is. Another chunpon called. So we'll see how the table responds to this. Though Ada is advancing pretty nicely with that hand. Another one called. Now tenpai for 1-pin, 4-pin. 4-pin just picked up by Harrison as he tosses his chun into the abyss.
Yes. Probably feeling like I held this for so long, planning to never discard it, and instead it came out. And of course, if Ada's dropping the Dora, it's probably Tenpai, especially after that 6-7-8 Chi.
There's the 1-pin picked up by Christian, and it deals out or in.
Yeah,
for Hatu Nomi, but definitely the lesser of evils here.
Honestly, that's a great result for Christian because if Steven wins that hand, 12,000 points, he gets out of reach. So by Christian dealing into Ada, actually still has a chance to take first, and was fortunate to drop it before Steven got the 3-mon because that would have been double run for 12,000 in addition to the 1K.
As Christian takes on the dealer mantle here in South 1, past the half. The Dora is 8-so, and he's got a great Itsu-looking shape here. That's straight flush. All you need is a 5, and it's ready to go.
Really interesting cut here with the 1-so. Planning to draw around the 6. Didn't want to discard the 2-pin either because he felt the 3-pin acceptance into Tenpai was... I guess that's not even Tenpai anymore after you cut the 1-so. So yeah, hold it for the 3-pin acceptance. But it's Harrison who'll get there, or sorry, Steven who'll get there first. Another early Ricci. It's not a very good one. Ricci Nomi this time and only on a Kanchan 7-pin. So if players have been sort of trained to fear these Riccis, then this early Ricci is pretty strong, just shutting down hands. But the problem is you're playing with Ada on the table, and Ada really doesn't fear anything.
That's right. And if Christian's wondering where all the 5 pins went, well, they're all locked up in Steven's hand now.
Yeah.
Well, except for one.
Except for what? There is one remaining. And it's Tenpai for Christian, so he might just slam it.
Oh. Will we see a chase?
4-pin cut would wait for the Itsu.
Here we go.
Could be Shabo instead. 1 pin is safe, but doesn't give you Itsu. Okay, goes with the Shabo.
Drops the 9, Shabo. 4-pin, 7-mon.
Oh, Ada.
And the 7-mon just gets picked up, but the 4-pin is what's going to come out to deal into the dealer. Forichi Ipatsu, no Ura, but that's 5,900 to take the lead.
Yeah, Ada couldn't drop the door there, and all the other tiles that progressed the hand dealt in. So Christian, the beneficiary there of that one. And, well, this high pie...
It's like it could be neat, but it's starting off in a very raw state.
It's like Kokshi, but you don't really want to go for Kokshi, and then you draw the Chun.
I wonder what he draws next.
Okay, safe.
6. All right, that's better.
If we drew, a terminal Mon tile, then maybe we're feeling sad because we'd have 11 in a pair. I think this is much better.
Sometimes it takes the wall to figure, oh, this is what you're going for. All right, my bad.
On the right, Ada with okay shapes for Ricci. Across the table, Harrison with okay shapes for a callable hand. And
Boom.
on the left, Steven's got the exciting one. Yakuhai,
Stephen calling the Souths here.
Yakuhai door 2.
Boom.
Yeah, door 2. One step closer now with the North's call. That's seat wind, so that'll be one more Han.
Oh, can we say toy
This
toy?
just gets better and better. Yeah, toy toy. That would mean Dora 3. That would be pretty massive.
Yeah, potentially Dora 3, but even without that, it would still be Hanemon.
Oh, yes. Good. We're seeing the Manzu growing nicely in Ada's hand.
Yeah, that's
But this isn't quite catching up to the others here.
It is Ishanten, though, which means Ada could have taken the Ricci on the 7-mon, but declined it because of the Dora 6-pin in hand.
Another 3.
This is a interesting cut by Steven, saying, if I call 6-pin or 8, so I'll avoid the 50-10 and just go for Toy Toy. But if Harrison drops me a 5 or 8 mon, I will call for my Mangan Tenpai.
That's right.
And because the hand never has to be Huriten, he's willing to make this play, but it's going to be really unlucky when the 7-so comes out. He misses the call.
And there it goes, yeah. So now he's going to drop the 6 and just hope, just give up on that part of the hand.
Christian is wondering if he can chi for Tanya and does make that play. Could have also called for K10, but...
Could have called pawn.
Ricci.
Ooh, that gives Ada the Tenpai and will slam the Ricci on door Tonki.
Tonki at 6-pin. Also the Dora. Where have I seen this situation before?
Yeah, this is like an Ada classic. One of the players that ends up on Tonki the most in the league.
Now we see Steven shifting the weight here. Shanpon on 6-pin 8-so now.
Christian calling into Tenpai for Tanya as well.
Dong.
And there's the 8-mon. That's going to go to our dealer. Again, the lesser of all evils wins this one, getting Tanya Nomi for Christian.
And that was off of a very, a hand that we thought could have been Kokushi. Christian ended up with Tanya.
Boom.
That's one heck of a pivot. But to be fair, he wasn't really going for Kokushi to begin with. It just looked like that, perhaps.
Right, had something like 10 terminal non tiles.
Which is normally where I'd go for it, but he definitely has different priorities here, especially being dealer. You just want to go for the quick kills. That wasn't really a quick kill, but it worked. He's staying dealer here.
Yeah, again, we see a dragon as the Dora, so that's going to complicate things. This time it's Ada with a pair, and it seems like every time we've had an honor tile be the Dora, someone's had a pair of it to start with. Someone who could call it for a Yaku. We'll see if it's Ada's turn to win.
And that's coming up a lot in this game.
Oh my, can we say hello to Jun-chan? Or sorry, Chanta.
Yep, there we go.
Ooh.
But can we say hello to Toy Toy on the left here? Sir Mr. Guy currently waiting on the 7-so for Hatsune Nomi. But with pairing up on that 8 or the 9, you're in Toy Toy territory.
Boom.
No.
Oh, naked weight here.
Ada
now just needs a 9-so.
Yeah, but Ada saw the path to Doko, Toy Toy, Honroto, what is it? Yakuhai Dora 3. Okay, all of that.
Yeah.
But if Ada calls the 9-mon or knight into temp, I will probably just take it and drop the 9 and deal in.
Ooh. So now it's a stare off across the table. Who's gonna blink first?
Unless Ada gets absolute greed and calls the 9 and drops the 7-8, so which would not be out of character for Ada.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Sadly, that playstyle not really seeing much success this season. But at this point, you just kind of have to play aggressively, go as
Right.
hard as you can.
This is Chichoi Tempai.
You cut the 7, so. Or, no, you'd have to cut one of the tunes. That's right.
リーチ
We'll
And
take
that
it.
would be dropping Dora. Is going to go for it. And that'll
Richi,
pass.
Richi Chitoi, door 2. It's Mangan, Sumo's Hane, Ura's Baimon.
Either situation is bonkers.
All the 7 so are in the wall. We could legitimately see that.
23 draws to go. It's wide open.
Ada avoids the deal in as well by taking this route, and Steven will switch.
Ooh. Now waiting on the 8 pin, which is even more locked up in Christian's hand.
Yeah, well, it's going to be very sad to see this 9 so come out from Harrison. And Ada's saying, you're Harakatanka, you can't defend, so I'm going to slam a Ricci and you better hope you don't draw the 7, so... Oh, I think this is going to deal in.
Well, either way it does.
Oh, he
wait,
dodges!
no,
Wow!
Oh, wait, that's right. Yeah, it was only orange because of his. Right. But now Christian picks up the 7, so... Gonna keep dropping 8 pins. Play it safe.
Oh, he sumo's on it!
But it'll be Sumo! Toy Toy Yakuhai Hatsu for Steven, 6,800 points.
Alright, give this man a promotion. Steven belongs in A1.
Yeah. With that kind of play, definitely. Oh, but I saw this just before the view shift. Check out that hand from Christian. And he picks up a 4. He's not ready to back down. He said, wait a minute, you want promotion? Nuh-uh, you gotta get through me first, pal.
Yeah, oh my goodness. I have to go back and look at that read. I admit, the 3-mon was called. There were a lot of 7s out, so it was kind of like a Nakasuji sort of thing, perhaps, but ooh, that is such a different... You've got one tile. It's a 50-50 every single discard, and the early cuts made a lot of sense. They were Suji, generally Pinzu were safe against that Ricci. The 7-so versus 6-mon, not an easy play. And
I could
Steven
learn
massively
something from
rewarded.
that. I could learn something from that for sure. Meanwhile, our dealer with a good Ipeco-like shape, it's completed 2 sequences with a 3rd over in the Sozu. You'd like to see that. Oh, is this Tenpai? It's Ishan 10, I think.
It is Tenpai.
Okay. It is Tenpai. Gonna go for it anyway. Not gonna wait for that to turn into Ipeco. Your dealer, go for it. 1 so, 4 so is the weight here. Probably thinking about that since the 4 so's have already been called over there.
Right, and also there was a Suji trap on the 2-mon, so could have tried for that. Still, this is Pinfu, so Ricci, Pinfu, Dora, and believing in the 1-so, which typically comes out more than the 4 anyway. Oh no, but the 8, that will deal in the Christian, who had just called into Tenpai for a cheap hand. 8 is just getting kind of unfortunate with these hands. The past couple have been very strong, but not able to find the winner.
And it's looking kind of frozen on my end.
Hopefully we can find a solution.
If you want to just put me on the game screen, if that's working better, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm just getting a frame every few seconds.
Yeah, it looks good on my end, so let's swap over and see if that helps a little better.
Oh, much better. All right, so there we go. It's South 3. Harrison taking dealership here. He's already called a meld of the Souths. So that will be in pretty good shape. Already getting one Han here. Perfect for a dealer.
And keep in
His hand's
mind
coming along nicely.
that Harrison this game has had no say whatsoever in any part of this game. Has just been sitting there and defending and folding and seeing all these huge points flying back and forth. He wants to take control of it on this dealership and sets Ishanten with South only. Doesn't matter. Win a hand, repeat, continue, on and on and on.
It's kind of getting choppy for me here. You might need to reload the page.
Yeah. Could I have you step out and in maybe? That might help as well.
Sure. Be right back.
It is Tempai. Harrison did pick up the 2-pin. 2-5 Mon Tempai. And Honitsu Brewing on the right.
Yeah, Honitsu, yeah, that's definitely making its way there. Though it is kind of visible to the other players. There's the Tumon, though, from Christian's hand. Could deal into Harrison.
Manages to avoid it for the time being. But if he draws the Tempai, would need to discard it. And he's got a big hand with Toy Toy Yakuhai.
Dong.
He's going to drop the Tumon in for South Nomi. Picking up 1,500 points.
All right, Harrison says, we are not done yet. Let's keep going.
Start a roll here. That's what you need to do. South 3 is continuing. 3 so is the Dora here. It's in this hand. Not a whole lot else. So you do get a sequence from that draw. Not bad.
A little bit of, well, okay, if you just fill these bad shapes, then they're not bad anymore, right? Looks like on the right, Steven working towards PUS shapes until that Anko is drawn. Now we're just looking at any Ricci. Ishantan currently across the way. Christian opening up on the 8-pin because he's already got the tune backing the hand. Ishantan Tempai now waiting on the 7.
Wow, that was fast.
Tune Dora 1.
2 7s sitting in the hands on the front and to the right.
And on the left, Ada aiming for a Ricci.
Each.
There's a good Ricci from our dealer now. Well, not a good Ricci.
Honestly,
but it'll do.
Yeah, any Ricci is a good Ricci for Harrison. So even though it's just the 2 so, which is the Dora indicator, this is acceptable.
Kang.
What?
Oh, Rinshan!
Excuse me?
Rinshan on the tune, picking up 2 Dora, and it's double Dora at that.
What?
From, oh my goodness, from Christian here.
The disrespect. Dealer Reach is like, oh, I'll give you another Dora indicator. It doesn't matter because I'll just sumo.
Bam. That's gotta hurt.
What in
and
the
now everyone's
world?
dropping their tunes out of respect.
Okay. Everyone except for Harrison is like, are you kidding me?
I just wants to sit in torment in his hand for a while.
It might be a Tilt Kokushi at this point.
Tilt Kokushi, yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. We're seeing it all tonight.
Yeah. This is, like I said, this is one hell of a night for me to come out of semi-retirement on commentary, for sure.
We need Blaine on commentary more often if this is what's going to happen.
I know. I mean, I'm definitely going to make a point going forward, just to say personally. But
wow.
Looking at this hand here for Steven. 2 Dora already in hand, with some other very nice-looking pairs, but we have Christian calling into Tenpai already. 5-pin, 3 Mon. No Yaku in this hand yet.
Yeah, again, kind of a weird call, but you know what? If you can Rinshan, just draw another 6 so.
If that's going to happen, why not?
Okay, here, yeah, one so 2 so makes sense. We can work our way towards a Tenpai that has a Yaku. Not completely crazy. Harrison is actually going for Kokushi. What do you know?
Oh. Wow. That's why he's not letting go of that red dragon.
Yeah,
It's going to work for him now.
only 4 tiles away. Only one Haku left in the wall, though.
Man, if he ends up like 13 weights and then wins on the Chun, that would be the ultimate like poetic justice.
It really would.
Chi.
But we're gonna see Christian call.
Now we
Tenpai.
have Yaku. Yeah, now with the Yaku this time, waiting on 3-mon 5-pin yet again.
Yeah.
But now another Dora picked up by the dealer. He's waiting
my.
on 2-mon 4-mon.
Oh, Harrison's in trouble. Is he out? Not out yet.
Kang.
He's gonna have to be though. Oh, another one! Another Rinshan Kaiho. Tanya with Dora 3. Mangan, what is happening?
This is too much. This is too much.
We're having dead wall reads now going on in here.
Are we sure the wall's not visible to these players? I've never seen anything like this. Back-to-back Rinshan?
Oh, I've not seen that either. This is insane.
I was supposed to be playing games tonight. I wish I was, if this is what's going on.
I mean, yeah, if it's Yakuman and Rinshan and other things of infinitely low possibility happening night.
This is the third Rinshan of... Nope, fourth Rinshan of the night. As from the games that I've personally seen, okay? And not all of those were streamed either. I know Dustin Rinshan for Baimon in an A1 match earlier. In the B1 match, there was a Rinshan for San Baimon. There was the Rinshan by Christian, and then the Rinshan now by Steven. What is in the water? What is in the wall?
Yeah, what is in the wall? It's just all kinds of crazy juju.
Okay, Harrison, Toy, Yakuhai, hopefully. Still holding this door in case that can pair up. On the left.
Riichi.
Ada will slam the Ricci first, and now this Dora suspect, especially against fourth place Ricci. Does Harrison have a choice?
4-mon here.
Yeah, 1-4 and the 3 for this Entotsu 8.
Oh, that's right.
The one downside to this Ricci is that you can't con the 1-mon and get Rinshan.
Dipping below 0 for that Ricci as well.
Is this Tenpai? What is Tenpai?
Oh! It's Tenpai and now it's a completed hand.
Again,
Tanya Dora 1.
Christian could have taken the Nobitan weight, the 2-5 pin weight, which is stronger. Instead says, you know what, let's play safe. Let's just hold this random Tonki, and that wins.
Hey, sometimes the best offense is good defense. That's a perfect demonstration of that right here.
If he Ricci'd, there was a chance that with a couple Uda, he surpasses Steven for first.
Right, exactly.
Actually, I don't even think he needed the Uda.
I didn't really. I mean, yeah.
52? It would have been a tie? Oh, no.
A
He
tie,
would have been
which
ahead by
I
1,000.
I've also seen ties happen in multiple games this season. And yeah, in that case, the Uma would be split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this case,
but as it stands here,
yeah,
2 big wins. I mean, it's Steven getting 58,200, gonna add 43.2 points to the score. Christian getting 28.8 added. That's a huge second, I swear. And Harrison losing 23.2, and Ada dropping sadly lower, losing 48 points. 0.8.
Well,
that's going to be quite the picture on the leaderboard now for the promotion race. I'm sure if you've got that to pull up here.
Yeah, given the what happened in this game, for Ada and Harrison, it was just kind of playing spectator to just the crazy things that Christian and Steven were pulling off.
Yeah, with the back-to-back Rinshans, that was Steven getting one and Christian getting the other. So I mean, or was it the same one? Was it Christian getting it both times?
It was exactly as you said, Christian and Steven.
Right.
And
they walk away with, I would say, 2 very big victories here, very big wins.
How many highlight moments have we seen tonight? I mean, I hope everyone's had a chance to clip those because I would love to watch these back. I mean, maybe
I
now's a
mean,
good opportunity to remind everybody that all of the Armel broadcasts get uploaded to YouTube. So you can check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/at American Ricci, at American Ricci
oh
on all
wow,
the
we got a
socials.
short link now. That's cool.
Absolutely. It's uh, kind of funny that I think they were supposed to play 2 games tonight, but they're taking a moment to just, pause, reflect on what just happened,
Let some dust settle here.
right?
Pretty sure a tile got smashed once or twice in there.
Someone might have to
But
fix their
yeah,
PC.
at this rate, our end of season show is gonna be like 50% this night here.
Your voice is going to be the mainstay. It's going to be
Yeah. You know what? I don't need to show up to any more. I'm already gonna seem like the most prolific broadcaster on that night now. Just kidding. Just kidding. I do want to show up to more.
all right. Well, I think since this game's taking a break, maybe we move to a different table.
Sounds good to me.
The night is young. There still are more games taking place.
Yeah, there's a lot of games for a Monday. That's why we decided to go live tonight. A lot of tables, a lot of players that we haven't seen yet.
I was thinking that there was another game happening, but they might have finished after only like 20 minutes.
Jeez, another quick one too.
Let me take a look at the game results and see if that's actually true because it's not showing up for me. Yeah, I think it has finished. It was a very fast 22-minute game where Joshua took a first place, Travis a second, Jay a third. But all three positive finishes. Travis with the fourth in that game. Travis, I guess there's multiple Travises in B1 and they're playing each other at the same table. So unless we get notification of an final A2 game starting soon, that might. Oh, it was the last game of the series. I'm sorry. They played 3
Yeah, we're
earlier.
just hearing from the. Yeah, we're just hearing from Harrison in our broadcast channel that yes, that is the last one of the night.
Yeah, we got the last one. We missed the first one. That was played a little bit earlier. I had thought that was the first. So that means we are actually done for the evening.
I mean, hell of a game to end on. I'm not sure we could contain any more ridiculousness in one stream. I mean,
I mean, yeah, you're right. There would have been too much. The Armel as a whole would have imploded as.
wait, there was that Yakuman we missed, right?
Oh, there was okay. There was that one, yeah, very interesting B1 hand that we didn't get to see. So let's take a look at it before we call it an evening.
And that will be too much craziness to smash into one stream.
Yeah, that will be enough to close us out. Where is it? Let's see. Have to go back. Oh, found it. South 3. Take a second to boot up. This was from B1, a B1 table, which is certainly a smaller division.
Right, they only have 20 people.
Yeah, 16 actually.
Oh, right. Oh, this is the Baimon, or
Yeah, just got to find it. Here we go.
oh wow.
All right, let's pull this up for
Now, let's see
everyone
how
to
this
see.
started. Yeah,
Let's close the wall too, why don't we?
yeah.
Close the wall.
So at the start here, B-san
Matthias.
is Matthias. Has a decent start for looks like Honitsu.
Feels like
Though it seems
Honitsu.
like the moment I decide ever to go for Honitsu, one of the suits is like, "Hey, I'll do something. Wait," you know.
Yeah,
But it looks like he's gonna just let it go,
yeah,
and
after
for
that
good
great
reason.
fill.
And there's the
Slams the
reach.
Ricci. Yeah, it's just on the 2 9 pin.
Yeah, with one of each already out. So he must be getting some Ura in here. Oh, wait. Khan? Another Rinshan?
After showing 2 door as
Sumo.
well.
Oh my gosh.
And Uratsu.
Yeah, Sanbaimon with the same ones as Ura.
Ricci, Rinshan, Sumo, Chun, Honitsu closed. And then all the Dora came from the Khan. The 2 Dora and the Ura as well.
That's
Oh,
true.
goodness.
Like, that decision to call Khan is the reason this is Sanbaimon. I mean, I guess otherwise it would be, what, like, it would just be regular Baimon, I guess?
Yeah, well, Ricci, Honitsu, Chun. Ricci, Honitsu, Chun. If he tsumos, it would be Hane, but with a Ron, it would be Mangan. I mean, he also drew the winning tile as a result of the con as well. So I don't know if he even would have won this hand otherwise. I mean, Toyman draws the 2 pit, but they might just hold it and maybe doesn't even win the hand. Of course, in this position, when you are in the lead and
Kang.
in the so far ahead, you've declared Ricci first. You feel like you're ahead of the rest of the players. You can afford to con like this. And, wow, glorious finish for Matthias in this game.
Absolutely.
Absolutely steals the lead away.
Rinshan Monday in the chat.
Yeah, Rinshan Monday.
I mean, it's Monday. It's not Monday Night Ron. It's Monday Night Rinshan.
Absolutely.
That's what I should have called this in the server.
And wow, what a night!
Wow, indeed.
Well, that's got to be a wonderful spot for us to call it quits. We've already mentioned that you're going to want to rewatch tonight's stream. There were anything and everything happened tonight, including multiple Yakuman. So you'll definitely want to revisit the VOD, or when you see this uploaded on YouTube, take a look over there. If anyone's got clips, please make sure to send it to me. I will want to see those as well.
Might make some of my own.
Absolutely. On our upcoming broadcasts, I think we've got one scheduled for tomorrow and Wednesday. So you're going to want to.
Yes, that Jen will be on, and Garth for at least part of it. Garth Nelson.
So you want to
our team of JPML pros.
And those will be, in fact, we might be able to predict the start times as well. 5 p.m. Pacific or 4:30 p.m. We're not sure if we're going to catch the early game or not, but at the very least 5 p.m. you'll want to tune in Pacific time. I believe it's a similar start time for Wednesday as well. So absolutely check that out. We also will see those Yakuman and the Sanbaimon on our Twitter once we have the graphics for those complete. And
I'm losing you again here.
Well, one more note for everybody, and that is the crazy action in Armel is going to start all over again, fresh in the winter season that is coming up very soon. In fact, after the final session...
What's coming? Sorry,
the winter
I don't
winter
know if
season.
You're asking me... Oh, yeah, the winter season. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's coming up very soon. So I'm just making sure the viewers are aware that if they want to be part of the
has
winter
the
season,
registration deadline passed?
It has not. We've got... The deadline is a couple hours away, though. So if you want to register, you have to sign up in the next 3 hours. Yeah, tonight is the deadline. So make sure to register very, 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 very soon if you want to get
y'all watching this, y'all know y'all want to be a part of this action. Don't lie. Do it now.
Absolutely.
There's literally no time like the present.
We've had a bunch of people sign up recently, so there's very likely we'll get a league expansion, which is so awesome to see the league continue to grow.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been a great experience for me. I've learned so much and improved my game in many ways since I've joined this. So definitely, if you're someone who's got the basics down, you're looking for a good competitive outlet, this is the place to be.
Absolutely. Go to the website, AmericanRichi.org, for that registration. And what a night, Blaine. I think I can't wait to see what goes down on Tuesday. I won't be there to watch it live, but I will definitely be watching the replay. And then Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Wednesday will be our regular Wednesday broadcast, and then after that, session 6, all coming up
Wow.
in the near future.
Yep. And if you want to see me, my Twitch channel is now in effect. It is now live. We had our first actual stream on Saturday with the Final Fantasy XIV Domon Mahjong tournament, which is a lot of fun. And so we're definitely going to have more fun this time, not on a 5 minute delay. So I believe Thursday night we're going to be just doing some casual Ricci City streaming. And then on Saturday night, I'm excited about this. We're going to start some practice for Akagi speedruns on GBA.
Oh,
So
wow. That
that
sounds...
yeah, it's been something I've been working on for a really long time. I'm just waiting for the last bit of equipment to come in so I can start like runs on real hardware and capture them and all that. So I do a casual playthrough just to kind of look through the game a little bit and like talk about the different strategies you can use to go through it very quickly. But yeah, it'll be a fun time. It's twitch.tv/smaman, SMAMAN, if you want to catch me live.
Absolutely. Sounds like a blast. And thanks so much, Blaine, for tuning in. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching what was a very wild evening of action.
That's
Cannot wait.
putting it mildly.
Cannot wait. We will see you soon. Have a good one, everybody.
Good night.